For the first official race of the NASCAR season, welcome to the Camping World Truck Series Race Day, presented by Toyota. The biggest race of the year for the truckers is just a few moments away, and no matter what you're driving, there is nothing quite like Daytona. And welcome into our Race Day studio, everybody. I'm John Roberts, alongside of two-time series champion Todd Bodine. Our resident crew chief is Jeff Hammond. Guys, we got a great night in front of us. David Gilliland is on the pole in a truck that he's driving for the first time. And also, we got changes everywhere. But it doesn't matter what's changing. The fact of the matter is, Todd, this is Daytona.
It's Daytona. You know, I've been lucky enough to win this race twice. And whether you're a rookie or you're a veteran, this is the most important race of your career is tonight at Daytona.
And you're exactly right. I mean, the thing is, and first and foremost, gentlemen, thank you for me allowing me to be this part of this race.
Glad to have you.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it. I always love watching the truck race. Now, this time I get a chance to get everything set up for tonight's exciting race, and I promise you, it will be the most exciting race we've seen so far.
Yeah, we get some great finishes at Daytona out of these truck races. Let's get you caught up on all the big news from the offseason. Ron Hornaday became the first Truck Series representative to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. In 17 years, Hornaday won a record 51 races and 4 championships. In true Hornaday fashion, he gave his acceptance speech the way he wanted to, wearing a baseball hat and ignoring the teleprompter. After 6 years with Toyota, ThorSport Racing announced last month that it would be switching to Ford trucks for the 2018 season. With Brad Keselowski Racing closing its doors at the end of last season, ThorSport's Ford trucks are now the lone full-time Ford representatives in the Truck Series. And in an attempt to reduce engine development costs, NASCAR is allowing teams to run the NT1 engine produced by Ilmor. NASCAR is also trying to cut costs by reducing the number of over-the-wall crew members from 6 to 5. This means the choreography the crews are using will change this season. Jeff Hammond?
John, in 2017, all the truck teams were used to having 6 guys go over the wall. We'll take a quick look here at the 24 truck coming to stop here, and we're going to stop it. We're going to show you what we're talking about. Here's a tire carrier, and here's another tire carrier. Now, what's going to change here this year, when you see the rest of this new style of pit stop here, you'll notice tire carrier now carrying 2 tires. Big challenge for these teams, because now all of a sudden the tire carrier, he sits that tire down. Now the jack man becomes a tire hanger. So a lot more stress put on these teams to try to execute what they've been doing for a long time. Again, they come around, jack man will become a tire hanger, tire changer. They kind of like not getting any help like they did a year ago. One other version of this choreographing this thing you'll notice will be this. Now in this version, the tire changer is also the tire carrier. He's carrying his own front tire. Still the same problem. Once they get the car jacked, truck jacked up, I should say, they pull the tire off. The jack man, again, he's having to hang that tire. You see the guys coming around. A lot more of a challenge. It slowed the guys down quite a bit. We really appreciate the folks up at Pit Instruction Training for giving us these versions so we take a look at them. But the big thing is the pit stops themselves have been slowed down somewhere between 4 and 5 seconds. And Hermie Sadler, that's not the only change on pit road.
You're right, Jeff. And the real wild card we're looking at right now is the air gun. This is a old style, we'll call it Ingersoll Rand air gun. Now, in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, there's been a new air gun manufactured by Pioli that is mandated for the Cup Series. I asked crew chiefs up and down pit road and said, are the Truck Series teams going to allow their changers to use the mandated gun that they'll have to use on Sunday in the Daytona 500? They said, no way. We want these changers to use the old style gun, and here's why. The old style gun, it takes the average tire changer 0.70 seconds. Almost 3/4 of a second to hit all 5 lug nuts, where the new gun that the Cup guys are having to use Sunday, about 1.3 seconds is taking the same tire changer to hit all 5 lugs. They do not want to use that extra time on pit road, so we'll see what happens tonight, John.
Thanks, Hermie. Coming up on NASCAR Race Day, Todd will introduce us to all the new faces in the Truck Series garage this season. We'll also hear from the reigning champion crew chief and see if he can make it 4 in a row in 2018.
It is title time. The champion is decided by the driver that finishes the highest amongst these four. The 23 race season comes down to this. One final race. Homestead Miami Speedway. The champion is determined tonight. What a special night. There's our championship leader, Christopher Bell. 20 to go. Time is running out on Austin Cindric, Matt Crafton, and Johnny Sauter.
Bring it home, champ.
Christopher Bell wins the championship.
And a first NASCAR championship for Christopher Bell.
A little more frustration, though, for Johnny Sauter.
Sorry to come up a little short.
Certainly a lot to be proud of if you're Austin Cindric. And how about this team?
You guys are the best in the business. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you, Christopher Bell. Where did you come from?
Welcome back to Race Day, everybody. That's one huge change this season. The champion has moved on. Christopher Bell is gone, so we thought this would be a good time, Todd, to take a look at some of the other changes within the series. And let's start out with Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Yeah, KBM. Christopher Bell, we just said, is moving on, but KBM is filled in with a great young man and Todd Gilliland. This kid can really drive. He can't start till Charlotte because he's still too young. So tonight, his dad's filling in for him, and he's starting on the pole.
Yeah, it's a great racing family there. Let's talk about another one of the powerhouse teams, that, of course, being GMS.
Yeah, Kaz Grala, last year's Daytona winner. He's moving on to Xfinity Series, but they have also filled in with a great young man, Dalton Sargent. Good driver, good young man, and Cody Coughlin came over.
And one of the teams that now is changing up as well is ThorSport. What are they going to do?
Yeah, Cody Coughlin was there last year. He came over to GMS. So this year they filled in there with another young man, Myatt Snyder. Good young driver. Seen him race in ARCA, won some races. And Ben Rhodes, he's in the same team, but he went back to his old number.
Another team going through some changes is, of course, Nice.
Nice Motorsports. Now, Justin Fontaine's taken over to 45, which they ran that truck last year, but Austin Waynesell and his team came over to join Nice, make a stronger team. But the big thing for this group is they formed an alliance with GMS, which is going to make their team a lot stronger.
So what about a couple other notable changes?
Yeah, Jordan Anderson, he basically changed numbers from the 1 to the 3. Of course, John Hunter Nemechek, another one of our great young drivers that's moved over to Xfinity Series part-time for Ganassi Racing, but he's still going to run the Truck Series part-time. And Brett Moffitt, I really look for this team to do a lot this year. Brett and his crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, actually won a race together at Michigan, and he's replacing Ryan Truex.
Yeah, so we'll get used to these changes, I promise you, especially after tonight. Right. Now, only 2 full-time drivers from 2017 are starting this season with the same team, crew chief and manufacturer from last year. One of those drivers is standing by with Hermie Sadler.
Well, John, in the series that's had a lot of change in the offseason, one of the teams that's back with pretty much everything intact, driver, manufacturer, and crew chief, is Johnny Sauter. Johnny, how important is it to you, or is it an advantage to be back with your crew and team basically intact?
Yeah, no, I think it's a huge advantage for sure. Obviously, starting my 3rd season with GMS, and Little Joe is a crew chief, and all the same guys are back on my team this year. So if we can pick up where we left off last year, we got on a pretty good hot streak. So Daytona's a little different animal, though. Survival's the name of the game here, and it's easier said than done. So we just got to be smart with our Allegiant Chevrolet and see what we can do.
That's Johnny Sauter. He's won here twice, and he'll roll off 2nd tonight, John.
Hermie, thanks. Daytona is the biggest race of the year for the Camping World Truck Series. On this huge track, anything can and will happen.
Here he comes. Finish line.
He got him! Mikey! You got him! All right!
Hell yeah! Behind him, around they go. Ryan Truex goes around. Johnny Sauter's going to win at Daytona.
Good job, guys! Good job!
Out in front of everyone is the number 19, Tyler Reddick.
That's a good start here!
Rose in the Crafton. Kaz Grala, 18 years old, wins the season opener.
By Toyota. It is an absolutely picture-perfect Florida evening for the kickoff to this season for the Camping World Truck Series. The trucks all look great right now, but that could change in a hurry. Now, the Truck Series hasn't had a back-to-back driver champion since 2014, but one crew chief has won the driver or owner championship 4 of the last 5 years. Rudy Fugle has developed a crop of young drivers into championships before sending them off to the Xfinity and Cup Series. This year, he's looking to repeat as champion, and once again, he'll be doing it with a young, up-and-coming driver.
Awesome. Great job, spotter, driver, crew. Great pit stop. Good job. So proud of you, Christopher Bell. Where'd you come from?
Rudy's a really good guy to have around young talent because he gives the opportunity to these younger drivers and wants to help tutor them and teach them and kind of show them the ropes and bring them up and give them the experience that they need at the Truck Series level.
The second white line right here, that's your camera. There's your pit out.
He was just a really good kind of father figure to me at KBM to help me through each situation, and we won a lot of races together, and he's a really awesome crew chief.
He's got kids. He knows what it's like to work with kids and how to deal with kids. And I mean, and that's what it took to deal with me at 16, 17, 18 years old.
Boy, different glitter. I know. Up top, you'll be fine. Back in your rhythm. One at a time.
I try to be everything they need, you know, on and off the track. Eric was around for 3 years, so it was different. You know, Tommy's 16, doing homework at KBM here. And then William, so a little experience of racing, being able to help him, show him the ropes. And then Christopher's talent is second to none. He's winning everything he gets in.
For him, producing really fast race trucks and being able to drivers is his key to success.
And Christopher Bell wins the championship in 2017.
Well, obviously, making crew chief pairings with driver pairings is my responsibility. Somebody else would have kind of chosen a different path of where to put the crew chiefs and the drivers if it was up to them, but it's not. It's my name on the door, so I got to choose. And you know, I really wanted to see Noah get the full experience of Rudy.
From the start of the third run and then on, I just got the front tires too hot.
Really excited. Noah's gonna be a lot of fun. He can energize the sport. I think he can be good for the entire series. He can be good for the sport. So if we can get him into a successful driver that wins races, see him winning races, but also is that fun driver on and off the racetrack that everybody wants to see, I think that's gonna be really cool.
Rudy and I are definitely polar opposites. What's up? I'm more of a joking type and very outgoing, and he's more of the serious, very hard-headed, organized, knows what he wants kind of guy. And I feel like with both of our personalities, because we're a lot different, we can actually kind of work together.
This is the primary? Yeah. I want to put a full season together, show him that he can run races like anybody else, and prove that this race team is pretty magical, that any driver you put in it, that we can be successful with him.
He knows what it takes to be a champion. Obviously, he's a champion in the NASCAR Truck Series, so I'm just all ears with him, just trying to take it all in, soak it all up. I'm like a sponge, so just trying to learn as much as I can from him and gonna do all it takes to be just like him.
I think it's going to be a good combo. I hope it's a good combo. Rudy's won championships with about every driver we've had and about every car number or truck number we've had at Kyle Busch Motorsports, so he's got to get that 18 that championship now.
So to be a great crew chief, you got to be a great teacher. And clearly, Jeff, this guy is a great teacher.
He definitely is. I mean, when I look at Rudy, compare him to somebody like a Leonard Wood or a Ray Evernham, because he has the ability to communicate, and he also builds confidence, Todd. I think that's one thing every driver's looking for.
Absolutely. You know, the one thing that impresses me about Rudy is his ability to take these young drivers, and basically a different one every year, and teach them what they need in their trucks to go fast. The young guy doesn't know. He's got no experience. So Rudy has that ability to take these young kids, show them what they need, make them understand, and make them go win races.
Yep, has another chance to win a lot of races and perhaps another championship again this year. So keep up the good work, Rudy. Now, we are counting down to the start of the 2018 season for the Camping World Truck Series. The command is moments away, and we got more race day coming your way in a moment. The start of a new season is upon the Camping World Truck Series. The first command to fire the engines is just moments away. As the drivers ready themselves to take on this big track by the beach and start a new year, let's go trackside for the pre-race activities. They are always extremely special at Daytona.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Mainland Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Farzad Norian, Senior Regional Director of Mission and Ministry at Florida Hospital, offers our invocation.
Lord God, we pause for a moment tonight to acknowledge you. We remember the tragedy in Parkland, Florida, and we ask, Father, that you will bless all the people around our nation who are hurting today. Tonight, we also ask for your blessing, your protection upon the driver in the race, the crew members, the officials, the fans, and their families. And a special blessing and protection, Lord, for those that are serving in the military of this land and those that are in law enforcement. Bless them, their families. For these things we ask in your precious name. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from Orlando, Florida, Gina Marie Incandela.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it one more time for Gina Marie Incandela.
The pre-race grid at Daytona is absolutely one of a kind. Todd Bodine, you're a two-time champion of this series. What kind of racing do we see tonight?
I think we see another incredible truck race like we always see at Daytona. And we've got a lot of young kids that they haven't got a clue what they're in for tonight. So it's going to be fun to watch them.
It definitely going to be a lot of fun, but right now when you look down on that pit road, there are a lot of nerves right now. Everybody's trying to kind of calm down a little bit and realize the start of this race, you got to keep it clean, and let's make it through to that first stage and see where everything's at.
The driver's seat is the sanctuary for these guys, and things are about to get wild. But right now, let's go up to the broadcast booth for the race call and to Vince Welch.
This is Daytona. For the 19th year, the championship begins here. It's the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series 2018 season opener. No one in the field has run this race more often than Matt Crafton. This is his 18th start here, but victory has eluded him. Is tonight the night Crafton finally wins Daytona? What a big night for teenager Dalton Sargent. He's from right here in Florida, and tonight, for the first time, he races the truck on the grandest stage of them all. For Clay Greenfield, it's already a night he'll never forget. His Tennessee-based team doesn't have a single full-time employee, but his truck has plenty of speed. He'll start on row 2. But the entire field will be chasing David Gilliland. In 2007, he won the pole for the Daytona 500, and he'll run the Great American Race again on Sunday. But first, he'll lead the field of trucks to the green tonight. With insight on another one of our race favorites, here's Alan Cavana.
Vince, last year's championship winner Christopher Bell has moved on, but his team, the pedigree of that championship winner, remains the same. Rudy Fugle and crew have changed numbers. They've changed drivers. He is now the 18 truck, driven by Noah Gragson. Gragson won one race last year in his rookie season. Kyle Busch, the owner, certainly a hands-on owner, has paired the two together to be their fastest bullet this year and moving toward another championship. Certainly they want a fast start tonight here in Daytona. Hermie?
Well, Alan, here's a look at turn 2 on the final lap of this race last year. It looked like Matt Crafton was finally getting the monkey off his back. He was finally going to victory lane in Daytona. But as you can tell, his night got turned upside down on the very last lap. But they come to Daytona in 2018. He and his team, crew chief Junior Joyner, a new manufacturer. He's now in a Ford, and he told me just before he climbed in that this is the best speedway truck he has had ever here at Daytona. We'll see if they can capitalize and go to victory lane tonight, Vince.
Well, some great storylines to look forward to this evening. It's been 91 days since we wrapped up the season. We crowned Christopher Bell the champion last November at Homestead, and couldn't wait to get it going again. Looking forward to it with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. Phil, I don't know who's going to win, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be darn close at the finish.
Oh, without a doubt. We saw that video just a moment ago. That was lap 100 of 100 laps, and about 30 trucks were still in a wad there in contention for the win. We had a guy win from the very last spot here several years ago. Because of the rule package for these trucks, and they punch such a big hole in the air, you cannot get away from each other. These guys are going to run in a group, in a wad, the entire race. We're going to see action, hopefully not exactly like that last lap, but that many trucks in contention, and it's anybody's race.
And you know, Vince, you said it. I don't know who's going to win. I don't either. And Phil, I agree with you. It's going to be a glob. But there could be a big upset here tonight. Just think back to 2012 when John King, that's his only big race he's ever won in his career. He drives to victory lane. Look at that feeling. Look what it means to win at Daytona. How about 18-year-old Kaz Grala? A year ago, he started on the pole. He was running 7th on the last lap. When that big crash happened, he powered through it and got the victory. What about Clay Greenfield? He's right up front. Dalton Sargent, a teenager. Maybe he can get it done. Or Spencer Davis. And if he wins, I just got a headline, Phil. Dawsonville, Georgia is where Spencer's from. They're going to ring the siren if he wins the race tonight at the pool hall. So this could be a big night for Dawsonville, Georgia.
They sounded it last night, too, for Chase Elliott.
Well, that's a lot of what's going on the track, but pit road's going to be a big story tonight as well. Significant rule change. The teams are allowed one less crew member over the wall. How's that going to impact what we see tonight?
I think it definitely will. I think because of the new rules, we have guys make mistakes anyway, because a lot of times it's the first time these guys have made a pit stop at speed. So I think we're going to see some mistakes, and I think we'll probably see some mistakes on pit road. These guys are still experimenting with how they're going to do these pit stops.
And Vince, what I'm going to be interested to watch is the strategy. What do you do if you're not confident about a tire change? You don't change them. You leave that guy out there on those old tires. How can the trucks handle the older tires? And what were these young kids against the veterans? How's that all going to work when they're trying to fight for this victory in Daytona?
Well, some of those young guys just trying to get their vehicles onto pit road could be a challenge. 32 contenders getting ready to roll, but first we got to fire those engines at Daytona.
And now for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome our Grand Marshal, Borough of Lansdale, Andrew Krause.
Drivers, start your engines!
Are on at Daytona, and the season opener getting ready to get underway for the trucks in 2018.
Everyone's leaning on each other off turn 2. Front 2, nose to tail, stacked up, side by side. Everybody crashes and slides down the backstretch.
Time to go racing, and no better venue than Daytona.
Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton leading the charge to turn 1.
You going with the young guns, or you leaning on the vets?
We've got trouble up in turn number 1. Kaz Grala is going to go to victory lane. One truck is in the air. Matt Crafton upside down.
Yes, we're at Daytona, about to begin the Truck Series 24th season. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Those who live up to their names make one for themselves. Goodyear, more driven. Downstairs to Alan Cavana.
And Jerry Baxter's driver went from 7th to 1st on the final lap of this race last year and won. You've got another fast truck and young driver. What do you tell him going into this race?
just preach patience with him. You know, he's so green at this, and we've been just feeding him full of information from for the last 2 weeks, just nonstop. And you know, yesterday practicing pit road a ton, and practicing restarts, and just everything I could think of. You know, teaching him about the draft. You know, on and on. And I've been coming here a long time, and you just never know what's going to happen at the end of this thing. So far it's gone really well. You know, I've been with the Coughlins now for a month, so John and Di, they've just been awesome, and Cody, he's learning a lot, so I'm looking forward to it.
What's the best thing you can tell him during a race to coach him, if you will?
Just to breathe and just relax. And you know, young drivers, they get the death grip in the wheel, and that's important to be able to relax out there. So you know, I'll just kind of keep beating on him about that. You know,
Jerry Baxter got the win last year. I would listen to him, Hermie.
But Rudy Fugle, you're the crew chief on Noah Gregson, a new driver, a new number, but this is basically the same team that you crew chief to a championship last year. What is the most important thing you have to do as a crew chief to try to take one of these, another young KBM driver to a championship?
Well, first of all, I want to start off with saying, you know, we're thinking about everybody, all the victims, and everybody in Parkland, Florida. It's a terrible thing. We're praying for everybody, and just want to say that first. But second of all, you know, really excited about this Safe Light Auto Glass, Noah Gregson. Really good race team I've got. Always, KBM's awesome, Toyota's awesome. But ready to start a new year, start a new, build on what we can build on, and go for another championship this year. I think Noah's got all the speed in the world. We got to learn how to race together, and you know, we got the tools to do it, and I'm ready to do it. Good luck. Thank you.
Had 13 different winners last season. Who's going to put their name on the list first here in 2018? We're about to find out at Daytona. Under the lights, and it is a perfect evening to be in the grandstands watching this one, and a great night for you at home, I hope, as well. So we take a look at our Camping World track description. Mike.
2.5 miles of history, of speed, of everything you want when you tackle a racetrack. Look at the banking in the corners, 3,800-foot straightaways. Love this place.
Shell Rotella race analysis.
As you can see, this race is 100 laps, 250 miles. Our stage lengths are 20, and the final stage 60. And you see our pit window somewhere between 32 and 36 laps. And as you mentioned, Kaz Gralla was a winner last year.
Take a look at our starting lineup. 32 trucks in the field, led by a couple of veterans, David Gilliland and Johnny Sauter. And how about the big surprise there in row 2, Clay Greenfield.
Just walking on air, Clay Greenfield was. We're on a great run for him. Dalton Sargent also first time here at Daytona for that Floridian.
A lot of confidence for Matt Crafton, too, in that 88 truck. Loves what he's got.
Vince, we're going to go about 30 seconds here, and everybody we see is a potential winner here at this racetrack. John Hunter Nemechek and his dad, Joe Nemechek, back in row 7.
What a great family affair for Joe and John Hunter, side by side. That'll be something they'll talk about for a while. Both had terrific runs here a year ago. John Hunter was 4th, and Joe Nemechek brought it home 5th. And they'd love another similar type performance tonight from the father-son duo.
Well, you saw back there in the 24th position, Ben Rhodes. Hey, Ben, it's the Fox guys. Do you copy, brother?
I've got you, Michael.
Hashtag game face, I heard you say. I've seen the focus in your eyes. You've won in a truck before out in Vegas. Can you get it done here on the high banks at Daytona tonight?
Man, I sure hope so. But first things first, we have to take care of our Ford F-150. And I know we can do that, but we have to play smart being back where we're at. We've got a really good truck to draft. It's a shame that we're starting back here, but I know that we can make it through the front and back. No problem.
You and Eddie have fun. I know you're a great duo, and we look forward to watching your race tonight.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Let's take a look at our onboard cameras at the disposal of our director, Roger Vincent.
Yeah, we're going to ride along on the Jegs onboard. That's Cody Coughlin. Changes teams over to GMS to try to further his career. Really some promise at the end of last year. Wants to further that here. He's going to start from the 10th spot.
In the 6th position rolls two-time champion Matt Crafton. You hear him winding that Ford up. He's got the Ford onboard camera. Starting 6th. A lot of confidence. He thinks he's got something he can win this race tonight with.
Michael, let's jump up to the front row here. Let's take a look at Johnny Sauter. He's a 2-time winner at this racetrack. He's starting from the outside of the front row in that Allegiant Airlines Chevrolet.
Well, the average margin of victory here at Daytona is just over 1/10 of a second. But before you can get to the end to win, you got to navigate 100 miles on the 2.5-mile surface here at Daytona, and it is about to begin. David Gilliland on the inside in that yellow truck, and Johnny Sauter on the outside, a two-time winner here at Daytona. The 2018 season is underway. We are green at Daytona. David Gilliland out front from pole position. Hasn't run that many truck races, but he's got almost 400 career starts across the 3 levels of NASCAR, including over 300 at the Cup level. No question, he's a veteran out there ahead of the field tonight.
Already 3 wide here. Is that Scott Lagasse, the 20 truck on the outside?
Look how those trucks move around. That's what the problem is. When you get to racing side by side that tight, the slightest bobble can wipe out 10, 12 trucks. These guys have really got to watch themselves as they try to side draft off of each other.
It's Clay Greenfield on the inside of row 2 there, alongside Johnny Sauter.
Those guys on the inside, Vince, want to keep right next to that double yellow line. Remember, going below is out of bounds to try to improve your position, but you don't want to ease up a little bit, let somebody sneak inside of you there, Mike.
And you know what the tough thing to do, Phil? Jerry Baxter said it perfectly. Relax your hands. Don't be tense. Don't be all over that wheel, because you will make a mistake. You'll turn too quickly and cause an issue. And we're seeing these trucks really move around just here on lap 2.
Fans at home looking for an underdog to root for. That second truck there on the inside with the blue hood and the white stars right there. The 68 Clay Greenfield, Tennessee-based team. Not a single full-time employee.
I don't like what I'm. This thing makes me nervous anyway. But
you're nervous already, Mike?
My heart rate's already over 120. I mean, these guys have their hands full trying to run around here this tight.
He's a quarterback. Here comes a little boost from the 25. Quarter off of you. Staying up there. The 4 is still down there. 25 is still hanging. Quarterback.
I will just tell you.
Caution on the track.
Oh,
on the backstretch.
Caution's out. He's off of you.
That's the 50 of Travis Quapple.
Looks like he's expired an engine.
So 3 laps in. Yellow for the first time.
Tough break for our former series champion Travis Quapple.
Does it allow everybody to kind of catch their breath now, Mike? You're talking about the nerves.
Us, yeah.
That's us.
I mean, other than us.
Yeah, I'm better now. But I'm going to tell you what, Vince. I learned quickly, as you can see, the push.
See that little bump there? We were watching from turn 3 back towards turn number 2, and it really threw that truck out of shape a little bit.
And the 25 truck of Dalton Sargent, he bumped the back of Sauter. He learned, Phil. You've got to just absorb everything, understand what your moves do and how it makes other trucks react.
Side-by-side racing with an early caution at Daytona. Early caution. Travis Quapple had an engine expire and brought out the yellow. Some teams taking advantage of the opportunity to come to pit road. Ben Rhodes looked like he made a pretty big adjustment there, Hermie.
Truck was loose, Vince. He came down pit road. They raised the back of the truck up to get the spoiler in the air a little bit. They took advantage of the opportunity to top off the fuel, but they knew as far as they already were back, there's no need for him to try to fight that truck in traffic. So they're hoping to give him a little more stability so he can drive his way back to the front.
You know, that's the tough part of it, Vince. When you're back in the pack, that's when your truck handles the worst. So if you can't get a good grip of things when you're back there, you better make an adjustment. And there's really nothing lost here. Come to pit road, make an adjustment, get a little fuel in your truck, and go back at it.
We know we're going to get another caution at the end of stage number 1 at the end of 20 laps. So Eddie Tricona said, let's make an adjustment now so we can get back in sync, and we pit with everybody else at lap 20.
And look, Eddie's smiling, laughing, feeling good. I wonder how Ben's feeling out there with a loose truck in the pack.
Probably feeling a lot better now that they've tightened it up for him.
Good point, Vince.
Triconis and Ben Rhodes working together for the 2nd year in a row, and that's got to be a big help for that team, I would imagine.
Yeah, so promising last year. Got that big win and contended several other times last year.
Yeah, I like that duo. I love their attitude. I think they have a good time. They're loose and relaxed, fun to listen to and watch.
Man, I love this view
from
too.
Matt
Wow.
Crafton.
I mean, you're right in his head. That camera is mounted to the visor of his helmet. You can see all the information that Matt has in front of him. That tachometer is really important, especially when he comes to pit road. You also, Phil, want to see what that tachometer is doing when you make a move in the draft. See if you can get a little bit more RPM, a little bit more speed.
Speaking of the tachometer and RPM, there's been a significant addition to the series this year with the NT1, the NASCAR Truck 1 engine. What kind of a difference do you think we're going to see tonight with its introduction into the series?
I think the nice thing about it, Vince, is we won't see anything. We won't see any difference because it's out there competing against Toyota motors, and there's also some Chevrolet SP2 motors. We won't see a thing, but it's going to be such a great cost-saving measure for these teams as time goes on, especially year 2 when you've already got some inventory of engines, and then you can just freshen those engines up. That's what NASCAR did this for, and it also is going to level the playing field. We talked, Michael, at the beginning of the show how these trucks are going to be in a glob. I think because of the onslaught of the NT1, 25 of these trucks have that NT1. I think they're going to be even closer together if that's possible.
Yeah, and I just think that this series is for the teenagers, the kids, to come in and race against the veterans and learn what it takes to be competitive. We're going to have more competitive trucks for those kids to drive now that we have that engine.
You mean there's going to be closer racing than what we normally
Yes,
have at Daytona?
yes.
I don't think Michael's going to make it to the end.
Oh, thank you, Vince. I don't know if I am either or not. This place is so special, and this racing is so tough. And every time one of those trucks zigs or zags, I about jump up off my chair.
Well, about ready to restart. This time it's with Gilliland on the outside and Johnny Sauter on the inside.
We have a couple teammates lined up in the inside. Dalton Sargent, that 25, is teammate to Johnny Sauter in the 21.
Noah Gregson shuffling down to the low line, fourth one in line on the inside. Just ahead of him is Matt Crafton in that neon yellow.
That inside line has some energy going right now.
On board with Crafton.
Matt's an experienced veteran. You probably won't see him, definitely won't see him go up there and pound the back bumper of that 25 truck. He might just lay against it a little bit and give him a bit of a push, but Matt will be very conservative right now with the way that he bump drafts and the way that he drafts, and he'll expect the drivers around him to be the same way.
And is that nerve-wracking for Dalton Sargent in that 25 truck, the second one in line on the inside, because it's his first time at Daytona?
No, it's very comforting to see Matt Crafton back there. You see another teenager, another driver with not a lot of experience, then you better be nervous because you never know what they're going to try next.
How about he has Johnny Sauter in front of him and Matt Crafton behind him?
Okay, I could even be calm, I think, in that situation. That's the perfect place to be. But then I'd look out my right side window and say, who's that guy with the stars all over his truck? Does he know what he's doing?
That would be Clay Greenfield, the 68. Look at that, side by side. How about the 4 of David Gilliland, Hermie?
Vince, what a fun story this has been this week for the Ford. David Gilliland basically holding this seat warm in this truck for his son, Todd Gilliland, to eventually be able to take over this ride later this year. When we talk about experience, David Gilliland has a lot of experience as well, but he also has a lot of experience up on the spotter stand. Chris Lambert, who spots for Denny Hamlin, who has had a lot of success on restricted plate tracks as well, is spotting tonight for David Gilliland. So a lot of experience behind the wheel, on the pit box, and up in the spotter stand. So these guys could be hard to beat tonight.
Well, Hermie mentioning Todd Gilliland, he doesn't turn 18 until May, so he can't run the big tracks. He will run at Martinsville. That's the 4th race of the season. In this 4 truck next week, it'll be Kyle Busch at Atlanta. Then Spencer Davis, who's in the 51 tonight, will be in this 4 at Las Vegas. And then Todd Gilliland steps in at Martinsville.
How about Clay Greenfield racing for the lead there? You saw him pull over, try to side draft a little bit off of David Gilliland.
And just a nice job of drafting there by the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger.
Hopefully we're clear of it. That's the hope.
Clay Greenfield made just 4 starts last year.
So just keep doing what we're doing here. Nice and patient. That 68 really darting through the tribal even.
You're talking about Greenfield in that 68. He did finish 8th at Talladega. Had a good run there.
Did a great job.
He's had a top 10 finish at this racetrack as well.
But I'm telling you, Vince, this early in the race, I've never seen the trucks move around as much as I'm watching right now. They are really, really risky here.
Watch the bottom of your screen there when I talked about him side draft. He was pull right over next to the floor, and that moved him out a little bit. Now he's going to try to do the same thing.
And that works. That slows the inside truck down, and you can see the momentum that Greenfield gains by it. But it's risky, Phil.
You saw when he got that close, one of the flaps. There's 6 different flaps in the beds of these trucks to try to keep them on the ground if they get sideways. You saw one of the flaps pop up for a second there.
Now, Vince, in years past, you might see some of these drivers with the experience of Matt Crafton, maybe even Johnny Sutter, different teams with different strategies fall to the back of this pack and ride to avoid the crash. But Phil, with stage racing and the points available, these guys are on go from the time the green flag waves. They know how important points are, and they're racing to get them.
1 year ago, we weren't sure exactly how that was going to play out. But as the season wore on, they became more and more important, and these guys are going after those stage points.
Stage racing is one of the coolest things NASCAR has ever done for the fans. It puts these drivers in a position where they've got to charge from the word go.
The championship in the Truck Series last year was decided by 1 point. Christopher Bell over Johnny Sauter.
Look at that push. Sauter's giving Gilliland way out into the lead.
Every single point matters, that's for sure. You want to get them any opportunity you can. On board with Johnny Sauter. That's Greenfield on his outside.
240.
That was Johnny Sauter running a little hot.
Now he's got a little bit of fresh air on that nose bench. You can see he stuck it down to the bottom when Gilliland went to the high side and hopefully cool it off a little bit.
Yeah, one thing you have to remember with these NT1 engines, they're fuel injected just like our Monster Cup engines, so they will start detuning themselves if they get too hot because they will actually go into a safe mode. So that's the thing you got to guard against. You cannot get these engines over about 240 degrees, which is what Johnny said he was seeing right there.
Well, and NASCAR within the week told the teams to open up that grill a little bit on the front to give them a little bit more opportunity for air to cool those NT1s off. On board with Cody Coughlin.
That JEGS onboard camera gives us a great view of what it's like to come through the tri-oval.
That's Spencer Davis right in front of him. You can see that back of that truck dancing around a little bit.
Joe Nemechek alongside. That's Justin Haley in the 24. Watch these trucks juke and jive.
Davis up ahead of Coughlin, 19 years old, from Dawsonville, Georgia. This is his first truck race. He's in the 51. Look at that.
That's a snarling pack, isn't it? Wow. Stuart Friesen decides he's going to flare out to the top, either to try to cool his engine off a little bit, Vince, possibly, or maybe he thought he could make a run up the top. I'm not seeing any progress made outside of the 2 rows that we have toward the bottom.
Side by side, about 10 rows back.
Only 17 trucks right now in this lead draft. Bringing up the rear of that draft, Norm Benning in the lead draft.
Yeah, see him on the outside in the black truck, hanging right in there.
3 wide there with Coughlin or with Friesen on top.
I like when I'm running at this stage of the race, I like being where Gilliland is. Obviously, front is the safest, but if not, I want to be tucked against that yellow line, Phil. Running the bottom, minding my own business, putting my truck exactly where it belongs. It's hard to make a mistake down there if you stay right on that yellow line. When you start to get in trouble is when you wander up off that line and then you try to crank it back to the bottom. I like where Johnny Sauter is right now, just running his truck. You know he has the experience, 2-time winner here. You know he knows exactly what he's doing behind the wheel, and I like where he's at.
4 laps to go in this first stage. Remember, the top 10 get stage points.
This is the 2 truck again. He's got quite a eye full, doesn't he?
See Myatt Snyder, that's the 13 Liberty Tax truck.
He's not on him.
1 row in front of him in the middle.
Quarter off of him now.
Another truck jumped up to the 3rd lane there, Phil. I think that's the
O2
of Austin Hill. He and Friesen making a little progress. See John Hunter Nemechek there in the black 8 truck. He made a nice move from his starting position outside the top 10, up in there to fight for a top 5 position, but look at Hill go.
Still Sauter in the 21 and David Gilliland in the 4, leading the pack. Dalton Sargent on the inside of that second row with Clay Greenfield on the outside. Matt Crafton and Grant Infinger side by side in row 3.
Looks like we just started the race.
Well, these laps are winding down in this stage. Hugely important for Johnny Sauter to get a win here in this stage, huh?
Johnny was so good in the stage, won a bunch of stages last year, accumulated a lot of points, and that, you know, that can help you get to Homestead at the end of the year.
Getting closer to the end of this first stage. Lap 18 of 20. How about the 21 of Sauter?
Johnny Sauter, right where he wants to be, Vince. The only time we've heard him in these 18 laps so far is when he was complaining about the temps maybe getting a little too high. That's when he got out in the clean air. Have not heard from him since. The only thing we've heard is his spotter, Tab Boyd, guiding him through some of the youth that's surrounding him right now.
A little more strategy here with Ben Rhodes coming to pit road. Remember, the pit lane closes 2 laps before the end of the stage, Hermie.
Vince, exactly that, a strategy move. Remember, they went to the back of the field. They came down several laps ago and added fuel and made a chassis adjustment so they get back on the racetrack. Hopefully, in front of the leaders, the caution comes out. They will move to the front of the pack when everybody else comes down pit road.
I don't think so, Hermie. I mean, I just don't see how he's going to be able to stay ahead of this pack. The 2-tire change with the new rules of the pit crew guys slowed him up. Can he stay ahead of these guys?
He's about a half a straightaway ahead, and these guys will run about 2 or 3 seconds faster a lap. He's not even quite up to speed yet. If he gets there and doesn't lose a lap, then it worked. If he loses a lap, then it didn't work.
He's going to lose a lap. There's no way that he can hold these trucks off. And Phil, you know this. Watch closely when they're running side by side and they catch a slower truck and they have to move up off the bottom and around the slower truck. It could cause chaos.
There they are, right there.
The pack about to swallow up the 41 of Ben Rhodes.
He's really going to be a sitting duck once those guys get to him.
See Gilliland moving up the track, but when you're back in the pack 2, even 3 wide, there just simply isn't enough room.
Ben's doing a great job keeping that truck as low as he can to stay out of the way.
Fortunately, they caught him on the straightaway. That means...
Wait till they get to the corner here, though.
See him squeezing.
4 wide.
Spencer Davis giving him a little room. Veteran move by the teenager in his first race, not to squeeze Rhodes down. Coming to the green and white checkers, it's going to be the end of stage 1, and David Gilliland is going to win it.
Put it out. That concludes stage 1.
So Ben Rhodes will get the free pass, but Gilliland strikes first, the stage 1 winner in the season opener at Daytona. Back at Daytona, the completion of stage 1 finds David Gilliland the stage 1 winner in the 4 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports. You see the stage 1 results on the right hand part of your screen. And here they come to pit road. Alan Cavana's there.
And it's the first start at Daytona for Dalton Sargent. He says he's wide open the entire way around. Fuel only for him and a small adjustment. His teammate, Johnny Sauter, no complaints, although he would love a little more power off the corner. Fuel only for Sauter. Hermie?
The reason David Gilliland moved up the racetrack was because he was loose with somebody on the right side door. It's going to be no tires, a little bit of a chassis adjustment and fuel. He'll lose a few spots leaving pit road.
Another guy losing a lot of spots is Clay Greenfield. Ran up inside the top 5 that whole first stage. Long pit stop, and now he's stalled his truck, leaving his pit stall.
Now the 16 of Brett Moffitt, a slow stop as well, and he was working right where Greenfield had come to a stop, so they're going to have to give Greenfield a little push.
Got her fired up, Vince.
Yeah, with the fuel injection system, there's a certain sequence to how to reboot the fuel pumps. Let's see if we can talk to our stage 1 winner. Hey, David Gilliland, Phil Parsons and the boys up in the FS1 booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, David, it looks like you're having quite a bit of fun out there. The racing looks intense.
It was really intense, boy. These trucks sure do move around a lot. You know, when someone right
tucked up under your tailgate and someone right on your quarter. But this Toyota Tundra, it's fast, man, and it's a lot of fun to drive, man. Everybody at KBM's worked really hard. Pedigree, everybody. I'm just so thankful for this opportunity. I'm having a lot of fun.
All right, buddy, keep her going.
You got it, guys.
You can hear it in his voice. When he says he's having fun, he means it.
And Vince, I saw him on pit road yesterday, and you couldn't believe the enthusiasm for this veteran driver. This opportunity that older guys might not usually get, he's sitting in a spot to go win a race.
Yeah, you just saw Christopher Bell, last year's champ, standing up top with Gilliland's team owner, Kyle Busch. H2 here at Daytona, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season opener. Downstairs, check in with Alan.
Yeah, great run for Clay Greenfield. Gone bad at the moment. The crew says when he came in to the pits, he didn't keep his foot on the brake, so that hurt the tire changers trying to get the tire on. When they did, he stalled it coming out of his pit stall, so they had to push it. They used the misfortune, though, to come back in, take left side tires, so he's got 4 new ones on, but a tough going from the back. Hermie?
Well, Alan, we saw the 41 of Ben Rhodes try to come down pit road on the previous caution, get back out front, stay on the racetrack and gain track position. That did not work as he went a lap down on the racetrack. But the good news is he did get the free pass. They took another opportunity to come back down pit road. There you see crew chief Eddie Tricona. So the strategy did not work, but they are back on the lead lap with a full tank of fuel.
You got to like Eddie rolling the dice, though. If it does work, they're setting out in front of this pack. So I like the chance they took. And Phil, it's tough being a driver, ain't it? They always blame us for everything.
I know it.
Or Clay.
The 3 of Jordan Anderson penalized for an uncontrolled tire. The 16 of Brett Moffitt and the 98 of Grant Enfinger, both over the wall too soon.
You nailed it, Phil, at the top of the show. Mistakes on pit road could be a difference maker in this race.
Rolling in stage 2. Corbin Forrester out front in that 7 truck. Noah Gregson in the 18 right behind him. Now Gregson slings out to the outside.
Not a great start for Johnny Sauter in the 2nd truck there, the white truck on the outside. Now
Myatt Snyder has gone into the 2nd spot in that outside lane behind Gregson.
Snyder saw an opportunity, 3 wide, Johnny Sauter to the top.
And Crafton right behind Sauter, the former champions teaming up and sending Myatt Snyder on the train backwards in the middle.
That's a tough position to be in, guys.
Oh, squeezed.
Just have to take your medicine, not try to squeeze in line where there's not really a hole.
Tough break for Snyder as he slips all the way back to the end of that pack.
Nice thing about these trucks, though, they have such a great recovery. You can fall to the back of the pack, even lose a few truck lengths, and then drive right back up to them.
You know, Phil, we saw the Cup guys run that high line and get strung out that way. We've never seen trucks do that. Johnny Sauter said, I don't think it'll work. I'm diving to the bottom. He takes the lead.
Sauter's got someplace to go. He disposed of Noah Gregson easily, and now Matt Crafton right there behind Sauter. The 2 veterans going to the front with Stuart Friesen 3rd in line.
Stuck Noah Gregson in the middle, just like Myatt Snyder 1 lap ago. He's making his way all the way back, just about to the back of that pack. Now he's going to slide in line there.
Justin Haley 4th in line, and then our stage 1 winner David Gilliland in that yellow number 4, 5th in line on the inside.
I'm going to be interested to watch Gilliland. He can get a push and get to the high side. That's exactly what he did. I didn't think he would be content to ride 5th on the bottom, Phil. You can hear it in his voice. He's thinking one thing tonight. That's to lead every lap and win the race. He'll battle back in a hurry.
He saw the Jegs truck of Cody Coughlin coming with a little bit of momentum, and he jumped up in front of him, tried to take advantage. Now he's dead even now with Corbin Forrester in that 7 truck.
Give a shout out to Corbin. Solid run for the 17. Great job getting good track position, and now he's holding on to it.
He pitted on lap number 5, has not been on pit road yet. Maybe the caution laps will give him enough cushion to make it to the end of this stage on fuel.
Yeah, Forrester just 3 starts last year. Best finish of 20th right here at Daytona. So running up in that lead pack. Big for this team.
What do your numbers tell you, Phil? Can he make it to lap 40?
I think it'll be close. You can make it somewhere between 32, 36 laps. The NT1s aren't getting quite as good a fuel mileage as the OEM engines, the original equipment manufactured engines. So I think the caution laps he's going to have to rely on to get him to the end.
See our scoring pylon on the left-hand side of the screen, that S1 next to Gilliland's name, of course, representing the fact that he was our Stage 1 winner. Currently in the 7th spot.
Gilliland's giving a push there to
Stuart Friesen, I believe, isn't it?
That's that blue truck of Friesen. That's a good line formed up on the outside. Stout trucks up there. Can they race to the front?
Halfway through the 2nd stage at Daytona. Former series champ Johnny Sauter, a 2-time winner at Daytona. Johnny Sauter still out front here at Daytona. Lap 13 of 20 in Stage 2. David Gilliland was our Stage 1 winner, but he is now deep in the pack.
He got shuffled, Vince. There you can see the bright yellow truck with Kroger on the back of Gilliland.
Here's what happened, right-hand side of the screen. Watch Gilliland up there at the top. Stuart Friesen bobbled, and it left Gilliland to the outside trying to just avoid contact, and then as soon as he popped to the outside, then you know what happened.
I think he just cracked the throttle for an instant, and that's what's going to happen if you get out of the throttle.
Well, and that was a situation where Johnny Sauter did a perfect job of positioning his truck in front of the truck that Gilliland was pushing, Stuart Friesen. Check that out. I'm worried about this. That truck hasn't been sparking. Something must be broken or coming loose on it. Maybe just a side skirt or something simple, but that's a lot of spark.
Hopefully it's a side skirt, but if it's exhaust or something like that, then it certainly will drag through.
Do you get plenty of air on the back stretch, on the front stretch? Just peek the nose a little bit. Just try to get some air there.
That's the radio of Ben Rhodes talking about running a little bit hot, and his crew chief Eddie Jerkonis explaining to him how to get it some air.
Remember, he just got the free pass on this most recent caution flag at the end of the stage, and he's already back up into the top 10.
You know, you talk about a delicate balance, Vince. You want to be tucked in that draft tightly. You start tucking your nose out, you're going to lose ground. That's what he's dealing with.
No room for error in this group.
No.
Parker Kligerman in a 75 has moved his way up toward the front. Remember, he's got 4 tires. Some took 2, some took none on that first stop. Kligerman got 4, and he sits in the 3rd spot. He missed this race a year ago because of a mechanical issue during qualifying, but if you go back a couple of years, he had a terrific run here in 2016, finished 3rd, and he's got 2 restrictor plate track wins, both of them coming at Talladega, but this is a place Parker Kligerman feels very confident.
He certainly does, and really has done a whale of a job here. Great call by Chris Carey to put 4 tires on that truck. Most of these trucks really did fuel only.
Oh, got shuffled out of line there. David Gilliland with a lot of speed. Got a hold to that track down below Kligerman and shoved him out.
That 4 truck of Gilliland is on a rail.
Michael, you said it. If you're gonna run the bottom, you better keep those left sides in close proximity to the double yellow line.
Gilliland got shuffled to the back, but he has run right to the front again.
Those experienced racers, Phil, they just watch. They watch that truck ahead of them and dare them to move a half a truck length off the bottom. You can get your nose in there, cause the air to push the truck up the hill even more, and take advantage of that.
Yeah, they don't wait for a full truck width. Just give me half.
Watch Matt Crafton. He's watching that Jegs truck. We talked to Cody Coughlin's crew chief, Jerry Baxter. He said, we got an inexperienced driver, but we got a great truck. We're trying to help him, coach him to stay up near the front. This is what Matt Crafton's studying right now. Can Coughlin keep his truck low? Can I trust that that truck's not going to get loose if I get really close to it? He's analyzing all that at 190 miles an hour.
And remember yesterday after practice, the 2 truck was bobbing and weaving a little bit, and Matt Crafton went and talked to him to try to help him a little bit, said, hey, that truck is wiggling a little bit too much. Jerry Baxter worked on it. That truck's a little bit more stable now.
And we saw it in the next practice. I mean, the results were immediate, and now there he is running inside the top 5, and Crafton's right behind him. I bet you Matt's liking what he's seeing out of Cody Coughlin right now, and that's important, Phil. You want to know who's got what during this stage of the race, so when push comes to shove, you're comfortable with that guy being right on your bumper or you pushing him.
2 to go here in stage 2. Johnny Sauter continues to lead. Stuart Friesen in second, David Gilliland in third, Cody Coughlin fourth, all on that inside line. So much of stage one, we saw him running side by side, 10 rows deep, but at the front right now, it's single file, hugging that yellow line. The 202 of Austin Hill has come to pit road.
There you see the 18 truck. Got that outside line behind him, but not making a lot of progress. Noah Gregson in the black truck with Parker Kligerman pushing. It's going to be Johnny Sauter coming to the green and white checkered.
1 to go for Sauter here in stage 2.
Oh. I don't know if Ben Rhodes went up to block or he just got shoved up to the high side there.
So the 0-2 of Austin Hill did not make it to pit road before it was closed, so he's going to have to go to the tail.
Johnny Sauter knows how to win these stages at Daytona and Talladega. He won all 4 stages last year at the 2 restrictor plate tracks of Daytona and Talladega.
Hey, he won stage 1 and stage 2, but how did it work out for him at the end of the races?
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Well, here he wound up with a truck on his top.
Got crashed on the last lap at Talladega as well in the fall.
There's the green and white checker.
Put it out. Put it out. That concludes.
Johnny Sauter, the winner of stage 2. The 21, they've been pleased with it all weekend long, and we saw why over the course of those 20 laps. The stage 2 winner, and you see there on the right hand side, he has accumulated 19 points tonight. The other points accumulated from the first 2 stages.
That's how you start racing toward a championship, isn't it? And Johnny Sauter's picking up just where he left off last year, gaining those stage points.
Well, and that playoff point for winning the stage, very important as well. And as we mentioned earlier, he lost the championship last year by 1 point. So if you think that you're making a big deal out of points early in the season, well, 1 point can make a difference somewhere along the line in the playoffs.
Remember, Ben Rhodes made the playoffs on a tiebreaker because of his best finish throughout the early part of the regular season.
And you know, I don't like talking about points, but I like watching these guys race for them. I mean, they are up on the steering wheel going for those positions, coming to those stage endings.
Johnny Sauter, you see him there behind the wheel, and his crew chief Joe Shear Jr. What a tough few months it's been for Joe. Lost his wife Chandra back on December 28th. Passed away unexpectedly, and I talked with Joe earlier today, and it has been a tough go for him, and he said, well, how special it would be if they could put this one in victory lane in Chandra's honor tonight. Johnny looks like he's got the truck to get it done, but a lot of work yet to do for the 21 and company.
Yeah, they've got her name on that truck in honor of her memory, and just hope those guys the best tonight while they race for her memory.
Pit lane will be open this time.
A bunch of these guys just got fuel only on the end of stage number 1. I think we at least want to put right side tires on now here, don't you think, Michael?
Talked about the new rules down on pit road, Phil. This could be interesting.
Sauter, Friesen, David Gilliland, Cody Coughlin, Matt Kraft in the first 5 in line there. And as they come to pit road, we go to Alan Cavana.
20 laps in that stage, not a word from Johnny Sauter, 2-time winner here at Daytona. Only 4 tires for Sauter. Hermie?
Stuart Friesen doing an excellent job tonight. Remember, they have a relationship with GMS, so he's able to draft with those other trucks. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel for the 52. 88 of Matt Crafton is sideways on pit road, guys. We're to keep an eye on that. It's going to be fuel only for the 4 of David Gilliland. He's down and away, but the 88 is going all the way to the tail end of the lead lap.
Well, that's a tough break. Crafton came in 5th. And they cannot service that vehicle until he gets inside that pit box.
And Phil, you talked about the restarting of these engines. There's a process you have to go through to make that happen. So they got it fired up, and I guess he'll back into his box.
But I think Matt did the right thing. Once he spun there, he didn't panic. He just waited till all the other trucks cleared. He knew he was going to be paying the price of spinning there. Let's see if we can see what happened.
Oh, just got in too hot.
Just came in way too hard. You could see the tire changer waving his gun at him. Let's watch from his vantage point.
Oh. I wonder if his vision had been blocked in some way, because that is a mistake that you don't see Matt Crafton make very often.
I think he just missed his pit. He was way out against the outside grass when he was only about 3 pits away.
You know, and that's something, Phil, I noticed as my driving career was winding down. Coming on pit road, there's so much going on. Trucks everywhere, different colored crews. It's really hard to pick up your pit box. And, you know, this is the first race of the season. Probably just didn't see where he was going and had to lock up the brakes. He'll be back.
We've seen vehicles go to the back and come charging to the front. No reason to believe that Matt Crafton won't be able to do the same, but anytime you have to come through all that traffic, that raises the risk. Crew Chief Junior Joyner, you know how he feels about it. Go. Hermie.
Junior Joyner is the crew chief on the 88. I turn around and your truck is sideways on pit road. What happened?
I think he forgot his sunglasses. It's bright out. He maybe missed the sign. I don't know. It's okay. We're going to be all right. We got one of the best out here, and we got 4 fresh Goodyears. Our Menards Ford's really good, you know, and we've been riding, just kind of being conservative. They look like they're getting a little anxious over there, and we'll be there at the end.
You guys came down, put 4 tires on, came back around and put 4 more tires on. What was the issue with that?
That was just a cautious move. He thought that set had a slight vibration, which we had every set on in practice, so I don't know what it was, but I just put 4 more on, and we'll go race to the end and see what we got.
Vince?
Well, Crafton came in 5th. He'll restart 25th. We'll see how long it takes him to get back to the front with 55 to go.
Vince, the pole was 183. The last lap before the end of stage 2, they ran 195.
David Gilliland inside, Dalton Sargent outside, and we're racing the final stage at Daytona.
So far, Vince, we've had synchronized driving. These guys have been inches apart, and they've made it work. Every lap that goes by now, the intensity will ratchet up. We'll start trying to side draft more, push harder. Anything can happen.
Brett Moffitt right there on the bumper of Gilliland. And that's 16, a little bit of a gap now as Parker Kligerman comes to the tailgate of Moffitt and gives him a bump. They close that gap to Gilliland in a hurry. On the outside, it's Dalton Sargent in that 25 and Grant Infinger in the 98.
You know, guys, one thing these drivers have to be careful of. All that bump drafting is fine, but they really don't know what's in front of the truck in front of them. If you know that you're bump drafting the guy that's in the lead.
98, but keep on digging. 51 with you, 24 with him.
Did you hear Tab Boyd in that 21, the spotter for the 21? I know I wouldn't make a good spotter. He's so calm. I just love that. I love how he just is soothing for Johnny Sauter to listen to. Just giving him all that knowledge, those words, and yet giving to him in a relaxed way.
You know, Phil, to your point that you're making, from behind, it's so hard to see even past that, you know, the spoiler there in the back of the truck in front of you, much less what's in front of that truck.
Exactly. You bump draft the guy in front of you, you might run him into the guy in front of him and cause a big mess.
Looks like the start, doesn't it?
It does.
And this is the way stage 1 went, almost from beginning to end. At second stage, we saw them single file a lot more, but now side by side with Dalton Sargent, his first race here at Daytona, and Grant Infinger on the outside of him, the veteran.
There's a little bit more of a sense of urgency right now because we don't know that we're going to get any more caution flags. We know there's going to be no end of stage 2. We've already had that. Now we know we're shooting for lap 100.
How about fuel? Can they go to the end without another stop? They have to come again, don't they?
Oh, sure, yeah. 32 to 36 laps, but we talk about making mistakes on pit road. If we see green flag pit stops, Vince, that's when all heck breaks loose.
Yeah, we've seen pit stop issues under caution, much less trying to get them done under green.
I wish Johnny Sauter's spotter Tab Boyd would tell me everything's going to be okay. I'd like to hear that right now because it doesn't look like it's going to be. Look at Dalton Sargent hugging that bottom, leading this race.
Getting a good push from David Gilliland in that 4 truck. There's Brett Moffitt, the 16, lined up behind David Gilliland. There's Johnny Sauter right along with him in that Allegiant Airlines Chevrolet.
That's Sauter third in line on the outside, and right in front of him is John Hunter Nemechek.
Scott Lagasse Jr. has raced into the top 10 here. He's down on the bottom in that white truck just behind Ben Rhodes in the green.
Outside at your door here. Still there.
Watch Dalton Sargent up front there on the inside. There's a lot of wiggle in that dance step.
Oh. He nosed ahead.
How about Grant Infinger? Drives out to the lead with a 98 ThorSport Ford.
Now he's going to go up to block a bit, but John Hunter Nemechek says, no, I've got to run on the outside.
You give that bottom lane up to try to block and side drive off the outside, and that truck out behind you is going to take that hole.
Nemechek in that 8, a 5-time winner in the Truck Series, but he's not going to run full time in the truck this year. He's got a lot of Xfinity dates for Chip Ganassi, including next week at Atlanta, making his Xfinity Series debut for Chip Ganassi. So he wants to take advantage of every one of these truck opportunities he gets. Maybe put it in victory lane here in Daytona, and then go take his hand in the Xfinity Series next week.
Top lane's starting to get a surge. Come back up. The 21's not clear. He can't chop down and come inside of you here.
Oh.
For Track Facts, talking about that 98 of Grant Infinger in the ThorSport Ford. You see switched to Ford with that 4-driver lineup of Infinger, Rhodes, Crafton, Myatt Snyder. A lot of work done by that ThorSport team and a late notice to get everything switched over to the Ford chassis,
and I think
the Ford bodies.
I think that was big for our series too, because we lost Brad Keselowski's 2-truck team that's been running Ford since its inception.
It's the 13 of Mike Snyder there. Liberty Tax Ford.
Side by side at Daytona, expecting it to stay this way all the way to the finish. Don't go away. Grant Infinger got a little sideways, and Jennifer Jo Cobb took the biggest hit. It could have collected many, but Cobb certainly took the biggest hit of the bunch. You see her, she is climbing out with a little bit of assistance. We did hear her communicate on the radio to her team.
She said on the radio, Vince, that she is okay, but she just couldn't stop. So it's nice to hear her clearly tell the team what was going on.
Cody Coughlin avoided significant damage because he could have wrapped that thing up pretty well also, but somehow maneuvered his way out of trouble.
Well, Vince, I thought he was going to hit the inside wall a couple of times, and he just spun and slid past it. Came in, got 4 tires. I don't think there's any damage to that 2-truck.
You see the damage on the 98 of Infinger. Now watch, it begins with the 98 of Infinger.
That's him right here inside of the 51 truck, Spencer Davis. Dalton Sargent, that 25 right behind him.
He just wanders up off the bottom and looks like just tries to turn back to the bottom, Phil.
Just got loose, just simply got loose.
And watch the driving some of these racers do to get through it.
How about Parker Kligerman? He got hit by the 20 of Lagasse. There's that hard contact to the safer barrier for Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Well, it's amazing that Coughlin and Sargent both avoided significant damage. Coughlin, you see there spinning, and that was Sargent right behind him. What a big hit for Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Thank goodness for the safer barriers.
You're right, Phil. We both hit that wall down there when it wasn't protected. And
let's go on board with Cody Coughlin. Infinger is just up ahead on the left.
Stay up here. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Lock it down, lock it down, lock it down. Keep it locked down. Release the brake, release the brake. Okay. Keep it locked down, keep it locked down, keep it locked down. Nice. Didn't hit a thing, Jerry. Get it fired back up and get turned around.
Come on, Jerry. Give me some tires. I want to go again.
Boy, it's nice to have a voice like Jerry Cook in your ear that
It's also nice, Phil, to spin at 190 miles an hour off turn 4 and not hit anything. Watch this 2 truck right there, sideways. A little bit of contact with the
Dalton
98.
Sargent.
Or is that Sargent in the
Sargent
25?
25. Yeah.
It's amazing. Sargent didn't do more damage either. There he goes through the Monster Energy logo on the top of it. Jennifer Jo Cobb there coming to rest in the grass, and you see when she climbed out, indicated she could just see her point to her left arm when the safety crew came up. She obviously took a hit there, but the way that truck impacted that safer barrier on the left side, no surprise. No surprise that it was sore. That was a big hit.
Phil, do we think about pitting these leaders?
I think if I'm at the back half of the lead lap, I'm going to pit. That's just going to buy me a little more time. So if we go green, then I have to spend less time on pit road. They cannot make it from here with 43 laps to go.
But it might be time, like you said, to use some strategy to get that track position later in the race.
Guys, it could be trouble for the 88 of Matt Crafton. He was not involved in that accident, but he has said all of a sudden he smells burning grease or oil inside of that truck. So they're coming down pit road, and Junior Joyner's asked him to get some tools together to try to diagnose the issue. We'll update you on the 88 as soon as we know what's happening, but a lot of concern here in this pit, Alan.
And Grant Enfinger, he's coming back down pit road. They think it was a right rear tire that failed, started that whole ordeal. They're just keeping an eye on the crash clock to make sure they have enough time to fix it, do as much as they can, and get Grant Enfinger back out. They think they can still salvage a decent finish, but they got to keep an eye on that clock.
Our teams get an extra minute in the damaged vehicle policy this year, 6 minutes instead of the 5 that they had a year ago. Under caution at Daytona. Still under caution here at Daytona. Pit road is open. John Hunter Nemechek is going to be a taker. David Gilliland coming in that yellow number 4. Ben Rhodes coming along as well.
It's like a mixed bag, Phil. Some of our leaders stayed out. John Hunt was leading the race. And Hermie, he came to pit road along with David Gilliland.
The 4 of David Gilliland, Michael, is too loose, especially on the entry to turn 3. They've been getting fuel only pretty much all night, but they are going to put tires on the truck this time. John Hunter Nemechek really likes his truck, especially out front. A little bit free for the 8. 41 also on pit road. That's Ben Rhodes. He's been fighting track position all night. Another adjustment. His truck was a little bit loose as well, guys.
So you see Nemechek, Gilliland, Rhodes taking tires. Others decided not to.
You know, Phil, you might, if you pitted here and got 4 tires, you could say I'm done with tires. If you're losing that track position anyway, when I need gas, I'll get a little and go. I wonder if the guys that stayed on the racetrack are confident in the tires that they have and the way their trucks are handling to stay out all the way to the checkered.
I think so too, but I think they're going to need some fuel, though. They're definitely going to need some fuel.
Remember, the 88 of Matt Crafton was concerned about an issue. We'll check on that when we come back to Daytona. 40 to go in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season opener. Getting ready to go back to green after that multiple vehicle incident started by the 98 of Grant Enfinger when he got loose on the inside and collected some others.
Johnny Sauter, Vince, elected to take the outside, leading the race. It's going to be interesting as these restarts happen, seeing where the leader decides to go.
Rookie Spencer Davis on the inside and the veteran Johnny Sauter outside. Back green at Daytona.
Johnny actually had teammates to pick from. He had both his teammates in row number 2. Justin Haley, the 24, was on the inside, and Stuart Friesen, the 52, was on the outside.
13 with him, then the 8. All good. Cruise right there for a little bit.
That's Stuart Friesen, second in line on the outside. Myatt Snyder, third in line, and that 13.
Clear. The 13 is clear.
That was a nice move. He had the momentum, did Snyder, dove to the bottom, and passed. Got around Friesen.
John Hunter Nemechek went with him, but Friesen comes back, gets some help from the 41 of Ben Rhodes.
He's getting ready to get more help than he was bargaining for.
Ben Rhodes wanted to go by Friesen on the outside. Friesen moved up just enough. We've got one smoker there mid-pack.
It's a 75 of Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, he got a little bit of damage in that accident.
It's the right front. As you see the 18 of Gregson go by.
I think he needs to bring that truck to pit road.
Trying to get up out of the way, I think, and let everybody else get by so he can get down to the bottom.
He needs to come this time. That tire will blow out. Look at Sauter switching lanes. Decided he liked what he was seeing in his mirror. Spotter Tab Boyd said, let's go high for a bit. Sauter took that position.
Sauter and then Friesen with Ben Rhodes in the green truck on the outside, as you see Parker Kligerman has that right front issue.
Smell like a tire, Parker? 100% a tire, 100%. I'm trying to run out of time. Take care of it. Inside.
I think with that much smoke, that tire blows out if he doesn't come to pit road.
Stacking up behind Ben Rhodes.
As the 4 truck of David Gillen lined up behind him.
On board with Cody Coughlin.
Oh, we got one sideways on the
right front down.
And that is Kligerman.
Wreck in front of you, wreck in front of you.
The right front went for Kligerman just about the same time that Noah Gregson had a problem and Bo Lamastus involved.
Yeah, I saw from the onboard there that Lamastus got sideways, and when he did, he came up and collected. Looks like
maybe Noah Gregson in the 18 truck. Bo's trying to refire that truck. You can see
the guy 18 on the last caution got sandwiched between 2 other competitors. They came down to me and said they had damage on both sides of the truck. They tried to get the tires cleared on both sides, obviously did not quite get it enough. Some more issues for the 18 and went from bad to worse for them.
Noah Gregson was 26th here last year because of an early accident. Here's the shot you were talking about, Mike.
Watch out over there to the left.
Still top 3.
You could see they were
keep coming. Caution will be out. It's not out yet. Big wreck behind you. Caution is out.
I think somebody ran in the back of Noah Gregson, and that's what put him in the outside wall.
You can see they were going 3 wide with a truck swinging up to the top, and Lamastus lost control. Parker Kligerman, like we said, didn't make it back to pit road before that right front tire blew out. Just too much rub there.
He was smart running up high. It didn't allow that truck to get any momentum going before it got into the outside wall. Let me know the view. You see there's the contact. Watch. Actually, I don't think there was any contact. Noah just got sideways trying to avoid the 54 of Bo Lamastus and couldn't hold on to it.
Lamastus was tight beside another truck, and it just...
Lamastus making his Truck Series debut in that 54, a truck that he co-owns with David Gilliland. Gilliland, of course, driving the 4, has been up front most of the night tonight, won stage 1. And there's Matt Crafton back in the pits again. They've had that hood up a couple of different times.
Back down pit road for the 88. I talked to Junior Joyner after the last sequence on pit road. They had a couple oil lines that he thought maybe they snugged up a little bit, but he was not convinced that was the issue. He's not sure if it's an oil pressure or a back pressure problem, something under the hood, but they're not convinced that they know exactly what the problem is. But they said it was not leaking when he went back on the racetrack, but obviously more smoke from under the hood right now. So they're continuing to diagnose the 88.
And Hermie, that engine sounds like it's running crisp when it comes by. There isn't any issue internally, it doesn't sound like, with that engine. So it must just be an oil line or some other issue.
Yeah, they're revving the engine up now, Michael, and checking. They've checked the oil pan. They've checked lines. They've checked, they started on the back of the truck. Matt initially thought it could be a gear because of the smell, but now they're looking completely under the engine compartment, but they do not know exactly what this problem is yet.
Well, Matt Crafton has run this race 18 times. He's yet to win it. Doesn't look like it's going to be his night tonight either. Still plenty of racing left. Who is going to win at Daytona? Back here at Daytona for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season opener. You see 34 to go and now 33 as they cross the line. John Hunter Nemechek stayed out many of those at the front of the pack came to pit road and should be for the final time.
It's going to be close. Again, we talked about the pit window being around 32 to 36 laps. The NT1s actually do not get quite as good a fuel mileage as the OEM engines. They were more like 32 to 33 laps.
Every Truck Series race they've had here at Daytona has had a caution in the final 20 laps. So they're going to get another opportunity to save some fuel.
Okay, there you go. That's going to be good enough probably, but still not sure about maybe John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, who pitted on lap number 59. That leaves them 41 laps to go. We've had several caution laps since they came to pit road, and that may be enough to get them in their window.
But, you know, they think that it's worth the chance. Phil, these teams, they run the simulation. They know what the trends of the race has been over the years. Heck, even Vince knows. And so,
well, that is saying something.
So they're betting on those caution flag laps in order to be able to stretch it to the end, and that just tells you how important that track position is.
And we know John Hunter Nemechek is going to the Xfinity Series, going to run for Chip Ganassi. He's not going to run full time this year. So hey, let's roll the dice and see if we can steal a win here at Daytona.
Yeah, and his dad, Joe Nemechek, in the 4th position right now. He's on that same strategy. Norm Benning up in the 6th spot in his 6th truck. He said, I'm not coming to pit road. I'm going to try to hang in here with these boys.
Let's see if we can make contact with Johnny Sauter. Hey, Johnny Sauter, Phil Parsons up in the Fox Sports 1 booth. You got a copy?
10-4, loud and clear.
Looks like you got a pretty darn good truck there, Johnny. What do you see out there? What are you going to have to do to position yourself to be at the front at the end?
Everything I see right now, our Allegiant Chevy is really fast. We just got to work with our teammates. I think that's our biggest key to us trying to have a shot at winning this thing is, you know, the 52, 25, 24, and the 2. We got to work with those guys. So, yeah, we got a really fast truck. Proud of everybody at GMS. We just got to bring it home.
We see you trying to save a little fuel. You need to save a little fuel to have enough insurance to get to the end and maybe a possibility of overtime.
Oh yeah, 10-4. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. Without going into too much detail, yes.
All right, buddy. Thanks for talking to us, Johnny.
10-4. Thank you.
I think he wishes you wouldn't have asked him that, Phil.
I felt like I had to.
I think you did. Well done. Well, that is that's something that the drivers are always keeping an eye on, is that fuel mileage. As you see, the Performance Plus Motor Oil Chevrolet of Dalton Sargent got the free pass, and right there next to him is Matt Crafton.
Vince, they came back down pit road. I just talked to Junior Joyner, the crew chief. Now we have to remember, with a new engine, the NT1, they're also dealing with new engine tuners along with these trucks as well. But they think they have diagnosed the problem to a gasket back on the sending unit in the back of the truck. The reason they think that is because when he's running wide open on the racetrack, he seems to be fine. Some of the issues seem to come up when he lets off the throttle. So that's what they're diagnosing for right now. And Junior Joyner said they plan to run it to the end. So they think they know what the problem is. They've done what they can do to remedy it, and they're going to the end.
Certainly keep an eye on that 88 of Crafton.
A lot of trucks to fight his way through, Vince.
Back in the 24th position as we get ready for this restart. John Hunter Nemechek on the outside and Austin Hill on the inside, with Scott Lagasse Jr. and Joe Nemechek in row 2. That's John Hunter on the outside and his dad Joe right behind him as we restart.
We saw them work together in the draft and practice yesterday.
Ben Rhodes third in line there on the outside in that green vehicle, and right behind it is the 4 of David Gilliland.
4, there you go.
Well, they're already fighting for space.
All right, up half a lane here, keep the 87 straight line. He's the only one clear, come here.
Bumper to
up
bumper.
Your bumper now. 41's pushing him to you.
I'm sure the Nemecheks would be comfortable with this thing ending a lot like the 1988 Daytona 500 did that I watched on FS1 yesterday. Father, son, 1-2, the Allisons. Let's see if the Nemecheks can hang in there and make that happen.
Getting word that Bo Lamastus has been checked and released from the medical center.
Joe just couldn't hang with John Hunter. see the green truck of Ben Rhodes. Oh, something's wrong with John Hunter.
I think maybe Ben Rhodes made contact with him, Mike. Looks like maybe a right rear tire rub on the 8 truck.
Rhodes alongside.
Like smoke on that right rear 4 up to your bumper pushman.
Derek Nealon.
Still outside your quarter. Bumper, your top is clear.
The spotter for the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek. That was the voice you heard there.
Smoke's in the turn. So Ben Rhodes, watch him fade to the outside here to try to get a run on John Hunter. John Hunter moves up to block. They make contact.
Gilliland pulling up alongside of John Hunter Nemechek for the lead and getting it.
I'd want to be ahead of that 8 truck, man. That's a lot of smoke. Now, the difference between a right rear rub and a right front is the metal back there is a little flimsier. It might give, the tire might clearance itself. I knew that tire of Kligerman wasn't going to do that. What's going to happen with John Hunter? He goes in the corner and it smokes like that again. Right up front, could be a big mess.
I still wouldn't want to be on the outside of him. You see Ben Rhodes has been stuck in the middle. Justin Haley made a great move on the outside with Johnny Sauter behind him to put the 87 of Joe Nemechek in the middle.
Looks like the smoke has gone away a bit, Phil.
Rhodes dives back down to the inside there to get behind the 2 truck of Cody Coughlin. How about a shout out to that 51 of Spencer Davis? What a nice job he has done in his Truck Series debut. 3rd in line.
He would sure love to get by that 8 truck and get up there with his teammate David Gilliland and try to work together with him. How about Austin Hill holding on to that 4 spot, that white truck on the inside, the 02. Well, it was 4th when I said that.
Oh, Cody Coughlin got pushed out of line.
Trying to find room to get back up into the track and around goes.
Is that John Hunter?
And the 16 of Brett Moffitt.
Watch it, watch it, watch it. Pick your way through there. What's your problem, Cody? Talk to us. The left rear, Phil.
There goes the right rear tire.
Well, the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek, the 16 of Brett Moffitt, the 13 there is Myatt Snyder. We saw Stuart Friesen in the 52 involved.
I just didn't like the amount of smoke that was coming from that right rear, Mike.
Me either.
Coming off turn 2, John Hunter Nemechek radioed to his crew that it's starting to vibrate, and the spotter said about halfway down the back straight, we have to pit and get ready. So the crew was on the wall waiting for John Hunter Nemechek to come down pit road, and he did not make it.
Look at the damage to that 52 truck.
16 of Brett Moffitt as well.
Heartbreaker for that group. They had high hopes coming into tonight's race. First time Moffitt working with this Shiggy Hattori group.
You mentioned a great run going for Stuart Friesen. Myatt Snyder was doing a great job in that 13 truck. He's on pit road with a tremendous amount of damage as well. There's Myatt.
Myatt Snyder in his first race with ThorSport. Heavy damage. Watch it right here.
There's Cody Coughlin. We saw him get pushed out. Did a nice job saving that. Watch the 8 now.
That first black truck.
Second truck in line. That tire just explodes as it gets down into turn number 3.
Look at the debris flying through the air.
Spencer Davis right behind Nemechek. It's amazing he didn't suffer damage to his Tundra.
Watch that 2, that yellow truck, 5th in line. He gets pushed down to the inside.
Oh, great job by Davis. What a nice move.
Unbelievable. Austin Hill as well. Unfortunately for the 16 of Moffitt, Stuart Friesen absolutely nowhere to go, as well as the 13 of Myatt Snyder.
Wrong place, wrong time.
That's an unbelievable job by the 51 of Spencer Davis.
He's just relying on all that experience he has here at Daytona and in the Truck Series, right, Phil?
How many times has he been here?
Oh, this is the first time he's ever taken to the high banks of Daytona in his first truck start ever, and that was a veteran move. He was able to move to the high side, kept control of his truck, and drove right through that mess.
And Joe Nemechek had the presence of mind to move up the racetrack to give him room to get in between himself and his son John Hunter.
Watch it from the view of Johnny Sauter.
He's got room. He's got room.
Oh.
Big, perfect, good job.
Huh.
Well, sometimes you win races and you look back at what could have been the near misses that you've had. And I'm guessing every time, Michael, you've won a race, there's been some sort of a near miss during the lead up to the victory that you're thankful that you missed the damage, and that allows you to be in position at the end to win.
Well, it happens both ways, Vince. You get caught up in one that takes that win away from you. You never forget that. But you do a job like Spencer Davis did to get through this mess and keep yourself in contention. That's something that you never forget.
Let's listen in on the 19-year-old Spencer Davis.
Pucker factor was 10 out of 10 right there, Hellman. 10 out of 10 right there. Holy crap.
10-4.
That's good times right there. You don't think they're warming the Osiren up in Dawsonville, do you? Is it time?
It's an explosive ending for John Hunter Nemechek. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Those who live up to their names make one for themselves. Goodyear, more driven. Had an opportunity to ride on the Goodyear blimp this week.
Oh, that must have been a blast.
It was indeed. Thanks to Mike Sabrini from Goodyear and Dan Smith. Their hospitality. And did you know that the Goodyear blimp is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And 2 a.m. on Christmas, somebody is sitting in the seat manning the Goodyear blimp, even when it's on the ground.
Really? I did not know that.
That's interesting.
Little known facts. You learn a little something new. You never know when you're going to learn something.
That's right. I like it.
Hermie.
Marcus Richmond is the crew chief for David Gilliland in the 4. Now you guys are up front. You've also been back in traffic a little bit. Good track position right now, but what does your driver need to do to close the deal tonight?
Yeah, I think we got a fast pedigree Tundra. David and Chris Lambert's done an awesome job all night. Everybody back at KBM and the Fab Shop, Jerry Painter, they hung a great body. We got a fast Tundra. We just really got to stay out front. I think the high line's going to be really good, so it's just stay out of trouble and stay out front.
Alan?
John Hunter Nemechek here at the Care Center tells me he's all right. We saw smoke. We saw initial contact. What happened inside the truck?
The 41 side drafted me pretty hard early on and actually got into the right rear there. We were trying to block. I mean, you're doing everything to keep the lead, and I think it shoved the right rear quarter panel a little bit forward and into the right rear tire, and then finally it vibrated, and then I blew a right rear going into 3 and just held it wide open trying to stay off the racetrack. Definitely stinks for all my guys. Our Fleet Wing DAB constructor Chevy was really fast tonight. My guys brought me one hell of a piece, and that's all you can really ask for at super speedway racing. And I wish I might have been a little bit more, but I was getting told clear. And I have to thank Derek Nealon up in the spotter stand. Huge help tonight, being able to come from the back to the front and get to the lead and maintain it. So I learned a lot tonight. Hopefully we can move on to the next speedway race that we have over in the Xfinity Series.
We're glad you're all right, guys.
You know, you talked about being on the blimp, and I just want to give a shout out to Goodyear for all they do for NASCAR, but particularly here in Daytona this weekend. I mean, these tires have been perfect. Nobody's had any issues at all, and I just want to be clear, metal will rub through a rubber tire, and that's what we've seen a couple of times tonight, but certainly Goodyear's done an amazing job again, like they do every week, bringing great tires for these competitors to race on.
Well, in that situation, no fault of Rhodes for the move he made, and you can't fault John Hunter for trying to block him. As John Hunter said, you got to try to block to stay out front. Maybe a little early for that.
Well, when you look back, you say I wrecked because of that blocking move. Maybe reconsider that situation. But Ben Rhodes didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to get to the outside of John Hunter Nemechek.
Christopher Bell, last year's champion, a 5-time winner here in the Truck Series, running now for Joe Gibbs in the Xfinity Series.
How cool is it we get these kids first? Watch them develop their talent, go out and win races, win a championship. Just like William Byron winning all those races and then moving on to Xfinity. Now he's driving in the Cup Series. We get a preview of him here in the trucks, and this is just awesome.
Coming down to about 20 to go here at Daytona. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be exciting to the finish. The greatest day in all of racing returns this weekend. The Daytona 500 kicks off the new season, and you'll see it Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, with the pre-race beginning at 11 a.m. only on Fox. Alan.
Hard hit for Brett Moffitt. Did you see anything developing in front of you?
No, it looks like, I think it was the 8 lost a tire on the bottom there getting into 3, and I tried to move up just a little bit to avoid him coming back up the track, and I think the 52 or whoever got into us from behind and turned us on the outside fence. But it's just kind of sad, you know. We had a really good ice and tundra, and the guys worked hard, and we overcame our motor battle, and we were good in the draft. So it's really disappointing 2 years in a row to come here and have a strong tundra and get wrecked out, but you know, that's part of plate racing, and you know, it's kind of unfortunate that, you know, in a series where we're really trying to be conscious of the budget, we come here and tear up 25 trucks every year. So it just makes it tough for us smaller teams, but we'll bounce back and move on.
Moving on to Atlanta, guys.
It's good to see Brett Moffitt checked and released. By the way, we haven't updated Jennifer Jo Cobb. She was involved in an accident lap 55, and you'll see it here. Watch the hard contact with the inside wall. She did get out under her own power, but she has not yet been released from the infield care center. And I want to just make sure everyone knows that we haven't forgotten about Jennifer, and make sure everyone also that is curious about how she's doing, that she's not yet been released. But if you didn't see it, she did get out under her own power. Back to Alan.
Stuart Friesen, a strong truck tonight. I asked Brett Moffitt the same thing. Could you see anything, anticipate anything happening in front of you with what happened?
I don't know. I saw, you know, the Jags truck there had problems, had a flat tire down the back. He got out of the way, and then the 8, whatever problem he had there a couple laps before, it obviously bit him in turn 3 there. So I don't know if he had something got down or what. And I tried to kind of get up and avoid it, and end up getting clipped in the right rear, I think. And not much I could do, I guess. It's a shame. You know, we had a great Chevy Silverado. The HFR guys and GMS guys have worked seamlessly all winter long, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of that organization. So looking forward to you know, going racing the next couple weeks.
Strong run ends early for Stuart Friesen.
You know, when we get to talk to these guys and see them after a crash like that, they walk away, they're fine. It just makes you thank NASCAR and the tracks for all the safety innovations and tools that they use to help these drivers. And just thinking about Jennifer Jo, hopefully she's fine too and will be released from the hospital. We can make sure she's okay.
20 to go here at Daytona, and we mentioned a little bit earlier that every previous race here at Daytona we've had a caution in the final 20 laps, so I don't think we're done yet.
I don't either.
According to history.
It's only going to ratchet up. These guys are just going to keep pushing and shoving and side drafting more and more.
Okay, we have some trucks running up now in the top 15. The guys we haven't talked a whole lot about is you see Noah Gregson trying to make his way back around the racetrack. A lot of smoke there in that situation. But Brian Doza, excuse me, in 9th position. Norm Benning in 10th position. Jordan Anderson 11th. Some guys that are having some good runs by keeping their nose clean.
Getting ready for this restart. David Gilliland up front in that bright yellow number 4, and that's Justin Haley to his side.
7, you line the tightest. Don't use 7, still outside. Don't use 7, don't let him shove you too far. You are clear. He's still in line with you. He's still too wide in your mirror there. Outside to home, outside, outside. 2 by 2, 2 by 2. Tight out the back.
Side by side, Gilliland and Haley. Haley in that 24 truck, just 18 years old. Remember Justin Haley now as he's getting shoved ahead by the 20 of Scott Lagasse. Haley couldn't run this race last year because he wasn't old enough, so this is his first time here at Daytona.
He went to Talladega.
Oh, hard hit again. 68 of Greenfield.
Looks like Matt Crafton might have gotten to the outside wall too, but hard impact.
The 28 of Brian Doza, the 7 of Corbin Forrester.
Yeah,
you see the 88 of Crafton's got heavy damage.
Heavy damage to the 88. Just about ripped the tail off that truck.
The engine woes, problems they had under the hood, lost all their track position running in the back, and eventually got crashed here. Doza looked like he might have escaped major damage.
See some damage to the right rear quarter panel, but
just hope Clay's okay.
That was a big hit for Greenfield, and you see safety crews to him immediately.
Remember, Clay had a wreck in his dirt car over the winter and broke his wrist, had to have surgery on it.
Look at that truck, Phil, how it's twisted around.
It's like a banana, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like I wasn't even there. 10-4, man, you did nothing wrong there. That was 100% him.
You know, it might be wise for Matt to ride by pit road a couple times, let this team get a look at the truck, and then maybe make a plan for repair. The wheels look to be all pointing in the right direction. That rear tail gate is just hanging off. Maybe they can put it back on.
All the issues that Crafton has had tonight, somehow he's still on the lead lap. Coming to pit road, a lot of damage to repair though, but Mike, as you said, it could be worse, I think.
I do too, Vince.
I just don't know how they're going to attach the rear of that truck back on. They'll have to get that spoiler back there somewhere in line. No, essentially no right rear quarter panel.
They're limited also with the material they can put back on the side of that truck. So this could be the end for Matt.
Yeah, because remember that all the panels that will open in the event of a truck getting sideways. That's a great sign right there. Clay getting out of that truck, waving to the crowd.
Heard some talk from Crafton's truck that he got cut off. I don't know if he was talking about Greenfield or exactly what Matt was talking about. Maybe we'll get a good replay and see.
They don't have much to attach that rear bumper to, do they?
I like their attitude. Let's give it a whirl.
Watch it from the view of Crafton.
Nobody in front of him on the top. You're clear middle if needed. You're all clear on the top. Both sides. Hang tight there, hang tight.
Yeah, Matt was going to try to shoot the middle there when Clay was up the racetrack. Oh, that hurts me. Look at Cody Coughlin, that job he does. He was right behind the 0-2 of Austin. Now Austin got his right front fender damaged.
And earlier he was down in the dirt on the back straightaway. He just keeps avoiding messes.
Could have collected so many more even than what it did. The red, by the way, has come out, so they are going to stop the trucks over between turns 3 and 4.
Watch right side of your screen. The 68 comes back down because Matt was going to try to go up through the middle. He had committed to the middle of the racetrack.
Look at Jordan Anderson in that 3 truck. Just held it as low as he could and made it by. Still trying to avoid spinning trucks, but nice job by Jordan.
Justin Fontaine, that white truck going out the bottom of the screen, also did a nice job avoiding that.
Again, watch Greenfield.
He wobbles.
Yep. And when he did, Crafton was headed right to the middle to try to make the pass, and Greenfield came down. Matt couldn't avoid him. From the view of Cody Coughlin.
This is going to be good.
Just hit the brakes hard, the right amount, didn't slide the tires and run into them.
They're running out of time, aren't they, Phil?
They are.
Remember, they have 6 minutes on the damaged vehicle
and the
policy.
Clock stopped now with the red flag.
I cannot do any repairs right now because of the red condition.
They can analyze it and figure out a plan and see how much time they have left and see if they can do anything to get it going again.
Get some stuff ready behind the wall and try to figure out how to get that spoiler up there.
And while Junior Joyner, the crew chief, and his team evaluates and comes up with a plan, we'll check in with Alan.
Wyatt Snyder was involved in that earlier wreck. It had been a calm race until this. What's it like as the driver? Can you sense it out there as the laps tick away?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was racing about mid-pack, and then I saw the 2 go off track, and then all of a sudden there was just debris everywhere in the 3. I couldn't tell what was going on, but I guess the 8 blew a tire. So everybody just kind of went everywhere, and then ended up that the 8 ended up coming down and slapping me off the track, and Splitter ended up digging into the grounds and took us out. So It's unfortunate. I mean, we had a really good truck. The guys at ThorSport Racing brought me a really good Liberty Tax Ford F-150, and you know, I'm happy to be here at Daytona, but it sucks to end like this because we were really strong. So, yeah, good run. Proud of my team. And just happy. Sad that I had to end like this.
Strong night ends early for Mike Snyder.
Try to get him next week at Atlanta. Full season for Snyder and that ThorSport group. And back to the pit box of Matt Crafton. Well, what do you do with this?
I don't know.
A wild ride for Matt Crafton. Under red at Daytona with 17 laps to go. 3 seconds of red if you're counting at home. Our next race broadcast coming your way next week from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, it's going to be a great weekend. They say the weather is supposed to be terrific. Looking forward to that. Doubleheader Saturday, the Trucks and Xfinity Series.
The only one of 2018 would be a great show. Atlanta always puts on a terrific show. One of the best racetracks we go to.
And one of the best forecasts I've ever heard for Atlanta. Temperatures over 70
Any time of the year.
Sunny skies, and the racing there is just tremendous. You have a bad night here in Daytona like you see Matt Crafton, you go to Atlanta and you try to rebound. That's what these teams are all about. I don't know if he's got enough time to come back down pit road on the crash clock, Phil.
It still really doesn't have the spoiler up where it needs to be.
Remember, under the damaged vehicle policy, you get 6 minutes.
Yeah, you guys, you see the spoiler, the right side of the spoiler. Basically, there is not one on the racetrack, on the truck itself. Junior Joyner wanted to jack up the left sides and try to do a little bit of work on the left side. Obviously, the majority of the damage on the right side of the truck, but right now it's just survival mode for the 88. With all the trucks that have just gone out of the race, they know that they can get a couple more laps, a couple more spots, and every position, every point will matter as we get down the line here.
I'll tell you what, Hermie, I tried to hang on to a truck that the spoiler broke off one night, and I mean, it was all I could do to get it.
Hardly anybody could do that.
I mean, this is an exercise in futility. No normal man can't drive a truck with the back end off of it like that.
How did you end up with that?
I mean, I somehow got it to victory lane. It was amazing.
But like you said, no normal man. The radio of Justin Haley.
I'm deciding what lane I want here. Do we split up the KBM trucks or do we stay on the bottom? I actually should not push him through the corner. I don't know. I think maybe we should take the top so we can modulate the start, and then guys on the bottom get tight, and then the top run always gets a run off of 2.
Justin Haley, the 18-year-old, is crew chief Kevin Bellacourt.
What do you think about that, Phil? Just these young racers with not a lot of experience, teenagers coming to this daunting Daytona International Speedway. When I was 18 years old, I would shake when I think about running on these high banks. They come here and all they're thinking about is winning.
So Junior Joyner talking with NASCAR officials. They were penalized too many men over the wall while they were under the damaged vehicle policy. That is a 2-lap penalty. So they were just telling Junior Joyner that Matt Crafton's going to be brought in and held for 2 laps. You could probably tell by the look on Junior's face he was not in agreement with that ruling.
Yeah, if all the trucks that are on a lead lap finish, then that won't cost them a whole lot. There's really only 21 trucks still on the racetrack. Right now he's being shown in the 19th position.
And this is a tweak in the former damaged vehicle policy where the violation is only a 2-lap penalty. You could be you were parked before.
Justin Haley on the inside, 18 years old, racing his first race at Daytona.
Scotty's ready for it. Go with the first restart line, first line.
David Gilliland on the outside, and the restart.
Top back, quarterback, still with you, still outside. Now you got a little run for the guys behind you, still outside even. Half back 20. Still out there. Still half back 20. Top lane's got the run. Still half to the 20. Quarter to the 20. They're tight outside, bumper to bumper, still just 2 wide. Half back your lane. Half back 20, then Johnny outside tight. They're all gap by half 2, still outside. Use your side draft here and then pull away when you get down. Kind of run them up to the wall as best you can, but safe.
Kevin Hamlin, the spotter for the 18-year-old Justin Haley.
Matt Crafton rolls back onto the racetrack down in turn 1 as this pack comes off turn 2. You can see damage on the 20 truck of Scott Lagasse Jr., but man, Phil, he's aggressive behind the wheel of that truck.
He sure is. He only gets a limited number of opportunities here in the Truck Series, and he's trying to make the most of it.
Side by side, Haley and Gilliland. How about in that 51? Spencer Davis right there in the mix in that second row behind his teammate Gilliland.
Amazing performance in his first truck start and his first start ever at Daytona.
I don't like the way Lagasse is coming up off the double yellow line. If he leaves that bottom open for long enough, Johnny's going to fill that hole up.
Well, that time it looked like Phil, he almost side drafted off the Ford truck on the outside of him, took away some of the Ford's momentum and dove to the bottom, made some ground that way, but you're right, it's totally risky.
Behind Lagasse in that white 20 car, second in line on the inside is Johnny Sauter in the 21. How about on the outside lane? Behind the 51 of Spencer Davis, Ben Rhodes in that green and white 41, and Dalton Sargent with some damage, but right there in the mix.
Looked like Lagasse got a little bit out of shape up off of Ford, but never backed off. See, there he moves up again.
And a veteran like Johnny Sauter, I told you, Phil, he's just watching and waiting to get a slight opening, and he'll fill that hole. There it is.
On the backstretch, Haley closing in. Could he win for the first time in his career? Could he do it at Daytona? Wasn't even old enough to run this race a year ago, and now he's out front.
Bit of a bump that time from the 51 of Davis.
But he did it like a veteran, Phil. He just laid on the back of the yellow truck of Gilliland and gave him a perfect push.
Camping World, 10 to go. 10 to go in the season opener. Justin Haley leads. Scott Lagasse in that white number 20 truck. Right behind, that's David Gilliland in the yellow number 4.
See that black truck on the inside, fourth back. Joe Nemechek, nobody has any more experience than Joe.
Oh, Haley tries to block and he wasn't clear.
Gilliland gets the run on the outside, and it's Lagasse on the inside. Sauter comes by Haley as well.
Haley drops back, but don't think he won't be heard from again. This pack is going to be all over each other.
David Gilliland's going to try to keep both lines side by side. Whichever line has some energy, he'll pull up in front of that.
Well, a lot of movement from that 51 of Spencer Davis.
Yeah.
And this is where that experience of 300+ Cup starts comes in handy for David Gilliland.
And this is also where you get more and more aggressive, more and more tense, and you start to move around more than you should. Look at that big line on the outside with the run.
Sauter diving down to the inside.
He's going to clear him.
Johnny Sauter, the power move to the front and the lead.
Perfect. Go to the box. Stay at 02.
Davis.
That's perfect.
Davis in that black truck is going to be right on Gilliland. They're going to have a nice push on the outside.
Lagasse right there. Oh, a big wiggle from the 4 of Gilliland. Maybe his teammate Davis got into the back end of him.
Oh, for sure.
Great save by Gilliland.
That's that experience you talked about, Vince. Hanging on to that baby. Look at Lagasse pushing him up the track.
I think Haley thought about jumping underneath him when he moved up the racetrack.
Johnny Sauter, a 2-time winner here at Daytona, trying to get his 3rd victory.
Johnny Sauter's in a great position. He and the yellow truck of Gilliland on the outside have had the 2 fastest trucks tonight. But man, I wouldn't want to try to pick a winner at this point. There's going to be more action before the white flag flies.
You know, oh! Contact and into the wall is Gilliland, but keeps it going.
That was 2 laps in a row. A bump. That time he got into the wall.
You ready for right side?
Spencer Davis has done a nice job tonight, but the pressure of trying to win at Daytona, the nerves of trying to race side by side at 190 miles an hour, he made a mistake.
Remember, it's his first race ever, not just at Daytona, but his first race ever in the trucks. The 51 of Davis up there on the outside lane leading the way.
What about Jordan Anderson in that blue and white truck up there? Fought his way into this lead pack.
Jordan's having a career night here if he can finish it off.
And the veteran Joe Nemechek. Joe's into the top 5.
Ben Rhodes trying to give that 51 of Davis a push. Johnny Sauter continues to lead.
Oh!
Cody Coughlin's done a nice job. We saw him spinning down the front straightaway. Recovered from that, racing up here in the top 10.
You see Gilliland on pit road. His night coming to an end as far as a shot at winning this race is concerned. Led 29 laps tonight. At times seemed to have the dominant truck. But here's what happened. Watch that 51 get into the back end of him.
He just wasn't quite square on the back when they made contact. And Phil, you know, when you're leaving the tri-oval, those trucks are really loose anyway. Any slight contact can move them around.
And remember, all he was trying to do was help his teammate.
The final 5 laps here at Daytona. Johnny Sauter trying to take it to the house. He and Todd Bodine, the only drivers to win multiple times in the truck here at Daytona. They've both won twice.
I just hope they make it to the checker without a crash.
Looks like a left rear tire.
Guys, left rear. Just put a left rear on it.
Yeah, left rear tire down on Cody Coughlin. Takes him out of contention.
Johnny Sauter, Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger, the only drivers on the lead lap that have a Truck Series win. So there's a lot of guys up here staring at a potential first time to victory lane. But Sauter trying to hold them back.
And Phil, you said it earlier, Lagasse Jr. doesn't get to race all the time. He sees a checkered flag in his future at Daytona. No telling what kind of move he's going to make on the last lap.
Jordan Anderson doing a great job just hugging that double yellow line. He's got to stay down there. Don't let that 41 truck get underneath him.
Watch the 2 of Cody Coughlin.
He does a great job holding on to that truck.
Part of the tire there.
The whole carcass of the tire.
Down out of the way. The more trucks that line up behind Johnny Sauter,
3 to go.
the more energy they will have to pull out and make a pass. That's how the draft works. You get that trucks lined up behind you, lay off of a guy a little bit, just roll off the gas.
3/4. Around half. Staying at half. Surging towards you just a bit. Quarterback still.
He's
level now.
He's still just zen, isn't he? I mean, zen.
That's Tab Boyd, the spotter for Johnny Sauter.
How about Jordan Anderson up there in the top 5? That's the exact same truck that Austin Wayne self-finished second in here last year.
Remember John King? Remember Kaz Gralla? Let's add Jordan Anderson to that list. Let's add Scott Lagasse Jr., Justin Haley, Dalton Sargent in this lead pack.
2 laps to go. Sauter, Lagasse, Justin Haley, Joe Nemechek, Jordan Anderson, your top 5.
Who's running 7th? That's where Kaz Gralla was last year on the last lap, and he won the race.
Grant Enfinger.
Single file down the backstretch. When do you make your move if you're Lagasse?
I think if I'm Lagasse, I try to lay back a little bit. Get back on the front bumper of Justin Haley. Get off of Johnny Sauter a bit. And as soon as Haley gets there and gives you the run, you got to take them side by side.
Maybe even drag the brake a little bit to put you back there.
What you're doing here?
Coming to the white flag. 1 to go. 2.5 miles left.
Get 3 and 4 there. Try and create your little gap. Still single file. Got one by himself out of line at the back here. Just try and get your little gap. 5 back to the second lane, not going anywhere. 24 with you still, just keep that 24 in your mirror. Right with you here.
Legacy's being patient. Is this the right thing to do? Look at him creating that gap we talked about. Opening.
Inside 24, inside 24.
Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes trying to get a run.
41. Just keep rolling, keep rolling.
Rhodes trying to get a run on the outside. Can Sauter hold him off? Here they come through the tri-oval. Sauter holding back Haley. And Johnny Sauter is going to win the season opener at Daytona.
Yeah! Good job! Good job, guys! Yes! Yes! Great job, guys. Great job, everybody. Tab, you're wonderful. What a machine, Tab. You are the best.
Yes, you are, Tab. I don't think I could have done it tonight without you, Tab. The Zen Master. Tab Boyd, the spotter, just was the same guy from the green to the checkered. He got it, Johnny Sauter, to victory.
And remember, Joe Shear Jr., the crew chief for Johnny Sauter, lost his wife back in late December. Joe told me today, he said, oh, I want to win this race so badly. You got to believe it's an emotional victory for Joe Shear Jr. as they head to victory lane
these guys
tonight.
Have won it before, but I'm not sure any of them meant as much as this one, Vince.
In love and memory.
For the third time, Johnny Sauter wins at Daytona.
They just couldn't get organized behind him, could they, Phil? I think Legacy did a nice job of laying back, but when he laid back, it was maybe just a bit too much, and those other trucks started getting 2 and 3 wide. No one to push him to the checkered.
But I don't blame those other guys like Ben Rhodes. He was running about 7th or 8th. He had to make something happen. Still end up with a good finish. Ben Rhodes gained some spots and finished 4th.
How about the run Sauter and Joe Shear have had recently? 2 years ago, they were the series champion. Last year, they were runner-up by a single point. And here in 2018, they open up with a season-beginning win. Johnny Sauter holds them off to win the opener at Daytona. Back at Daytona, the season opener for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in the books, and Johnny Sauter, the winner, had to hold off 18-year-old Justin Haley to get it done, and Haley is with Hermie.
What a finish. It's 1-2 for GMS. What a great run for you. Walk us through that final lap when you worked yourself into position to have a shot at this victory.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, working yourself into position. That was badass out there, probably the most fun I've ever had in a truck. So great for Johnny Sauter. We were really trying to time it out. Joe Nemechek was behind me, and we got out front there for a while. Yeah, there it is. Legacy just kind of washed up, trying to block that run, and I used the side draft there. Wish I could have got Johnny. That would have been cool to get my first career win, but again, I can't thank Fraternal Award Eagles enough. Everyone at GMS Fabrication, Allegiant, all the partners. Just a really good night. I'm really proud of what we've done, and hopefully we can get into the Final Four.
That's Justin Haley. He's second tonight.
Yeah, strong run indeed, but he's second to Johnny Sauter. Johnny's third win here at Daytona, won in 2013, then he won here, as you see, in 2016, and then he did it again tonight. Johnny Sauter, a 3-time Daytona winner. To victory lane with Alan Cavana.
Johnny Sauter slowly climbing out after an up and down night, going back and forth, celebrating his third victory here at Daytona. High fives for everybody, a little Gatorade bath. Johnny Sauter, your third win here. A big hug for your crew chief. Wins mean a lot. You dedicated this to your crew chief. You said you told him you loved him just now on the radio. How big is this win for him and your team?
This is big. This is for Joe, obviously, losing Chandra about a month and a half ago. Couldn't be more proud of him to overcome something like that. Thank the whole GMS family, all the guys, Bo, everybody back at the shop, hockey, Hillbilly, all the guys in their head departments, you know, just this is the most unbelievable speedway truck I've ever driven. Got to thank Allegiant, Chevrolet. Goodyear tires were good. Just Kingman Chevrolet, all of our sponsors at GMS, and my teammates tonight, man, I felt like we executed flawlessly. So at the end there, I wasn't quite sure. I was looking in the mirror, and I thought I saw him coming through wild. I was like, better go to the middle here and whatnot. But
tell me about that pass to the lead. You know, your teammates were strong and helped you all night, but this truck got it done.
To be honest with you, I don't even remember the pass to the lead. I felt like we had good track position. We lost it a couple times. There it is right there, yeah. Just big momentum, and man, I just so thankful to be driving this truck. Like I said, I can't thank Allegiant, Chevrolet, everybody, all these guys. This is the best group of guys I've ever been around, and this is fun. Start off the season like this. Got to thank the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Blessed Mother, as always. And man, I just felt comfortable today. I don't even know why. I didn't have one nerve. I just felt like this was our day. So say hi to my wife and kids at home. I'm sure they're up watching, and just proud of everybody. This is a team effort. All I did was hold the steering wheel.
Congratulations to you. We're going to talk to your crew chief here, Joe Shear. Every win means a lot. What does this one mean to you after your off season?
This is very, very, very special here. You know, I don't know if a lot of people know, but I lost my wife in December, and you know, she's looking above us, and she was in love with racing just as much as I was. So this is good. She was looking over us and helped us to this win, and I'm so grateful to be in a position that I'm at and have just the people that are around me, and this means so much. I'll never forget this one.
Your driver, your team told us they love you. Go celebrate.
Thanks,
Hermie?
Well, Scott Legacy, you come to Daytona every year. You run well every year, but this year you're able to bring it home with a solid top 5 finish. Describe to us what's going through your mind those last couple laps.
I don't know. I mean, I hate it for my guys. We had a good truck, and I cost them a shot there.
How so?
Well, I drove that 24 last year, and I know how good that stuff is. So kind of sitting between two teammates, I knew I wasn't going to out-drag race the both of them, and had damage on the nose. So I thought maybe if I mixed it up where somebody wasn't expecting what I was going to do, that I'd get a shove. And I just gambled and lost. I missed it for him, so I hate it.
Well, it's still a good, solid run. Top 5 finish tonight for Scott Legacy.
Thank you, Hermie. So we take a look at our results. I want to remind you that Clay Greenfield and Jennifer Jo Cobb were released from the medical center. Both took hard hits tonight, so good news that they have been checked and released from the care center.
Certainly is. 5 of our top 10 had best career finishes.
That's Daytona, isn't it?
Sure is.
And I want to say to Scott Legacy Jr., you play your cards. He thought he did everything he needed to do to win the race. It just didn't work out from behind. If he could have made that maybe fall back a little bit sooner off 2 and had that run, I think he had the right idea. It just didn't work out this time.
You see it. We'll be back at it next week. Next Saturday at Atlanta Motor Speedway for race 2 of the Camping World Truck Series season. Johnny Sauter, the winner tonight. For Hermie Sadler, Alan Cabana, Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, and our producer Mark Smith, I'm Vince Welch. Thank you for joining us. The season opener at Daytona, where Johnny Sauter has put it in victory lane as the winner.